the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you.
Pop, pop.
What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
This is Sports.
I'm Kevin Winter. Steve Kerr had already said this is not the last dance for the Golden State Warriors should they not win the title. But what this could be is, for the first time ever under Kerr, that the Warriors have been bounced out of the playoffs by a Western Conference opponent. 19 series for the Warriors against Western Conference teams. 19 series wins. Tonight, the Warriors return home, trailing the Lakers 3-1 in a best-of-7 conference semifinals. ESPN radio coverage starts 9:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Golden State is 7.5-point home favorite. Speaking of being favorites at Caesars, the Lakers have moved to co-favorites to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy, tied with the Nuggets at plus 300. The Lakers, to put it in context, they were 75-1 to win the title at Thanksgiving. The Heat try to knock out the Knicks. Miami up 3-1, Game 5 tonight, Madison Square Garden. Afternoon baseball, Pirates fall to the Rockies 4-3. Pittsburgh starter Rich Hill threw a 62.5-mile-per-hour sweeping slider today. Second slowest pitch of the season in baseball. By the way, it was swung on and missed. The Yankees pound the A's 11-3. Dodgers 8-1 victory in Milwaukee over the Brew Crew.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Alundra, Villarreal. Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Weird when I didn't scream it, huh?
It's hump day.
Should I do it again? Or is the moment gone?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Moment's gone. Do it at 5 o'clock.
Hump day!
An improvised hump day. I got great news, everybody.
It's hump day.
Great news, Muse.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I said great news, Muse.
What's the news, Matt?
You owe me another steak dinner.
No, I don't. run.
Another run rule means another steak dinner.
It's hump day.
Yeah! Get ready to pay up. Lihu.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Zerher.
Hump day.
Nah. Not gonna happen.
How
Not gonna
about
happen.
Cobble talking
hump
Brian Kelly.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yeah. You know the bit. It's like,
I did it.
yeah. I say something and then you hit a liner.
Hump day.
Foster Moreau signs with the Saints.
It's hump day.
Fired up for that.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We'll wrap up our SEC spring recaps.
Hump day.
Take a look at the Georgia Bulldogs.
It's hump day.
All in cart. Right, hour 3.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get going. Ton to get to today. You probably all know it by now. Phenomenal news. Foster Moreau is officially a member of the New Orleans Saints. Really excited to see that. We talked about it yesterday on the show when Brooke Kirchhoffer had the report that the Saints still had an offer on the table for Foster Moreau. Now we know 3 years, $8 million guaranteed, $3 million in incentives. Great $12 million total on the deal for Foster Moreau. And for all the reasons we talked about yesterday, makes so much sense for the Saints on the field. And then you have this great feel-good of the hometown guy who went to Jesuit, who was the last guy in LSU's class, who played at LSU, wore the 18, fourth-round pick, goes to the Raiders, worked with Derek Carr, hits free agency, now has an opportunity to join the Saints. And even in spite of the Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosis, really awesome that Foster Moreau is still going to get an opportunity to play for the Saints, and Philly need the Saints have. So we'll talk more about that in the next hour. But let's push off from the dock.
Let's pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
So the baseball Tigers score a win, 14-4 over Northwestern State. Muse, you owe me another dinner. I'm so fired up about this,
I
Muse.
can't owe you another dinner when I don't
Alondra.
even owe you a dinner.
Alondra.
That's not how this works.
I mean, you understand. Muse owes me dinner.
I get it.
Yeah,
I
see?
get it. He 100%
See?
owes you
Can't
dinner.
catch a break. Even
Two of
when
them now.
Paul's not here.
Two of them now.
I'm just saying.
You know, Muse, don't make bets that with
I didn't make a bet with you.
That your wallet can't cash. That your
I mean, yeah, that'd be the correct. But I didn't make a bet.
Your bank account can't cash.
Yeah, there you go.
Your mouth can't cash.
No,
whatever.
Your mouth
You
is
can't take the
Yeah.
heat. Get out the kitchen.
There it is. I like it. See what you just did right there? That's a pro. It's a radio pro is what that is right there. So Muse had a bet. Run rule with LSU run rule so many times. He lost the bet, so now he owes me dinner. Fired up about it. And every time they keep run ruling teams, we keep adding one onto there. So how many more midweek games we got, Muse? 2 more?
You have one more.
One more midweek game. And then, that's right, one more midweek game. And then, I looked at Mississippi State stinks. I'll probably get another one this weekend, too. So, I mean, I am going to start stock. Muse is going to feed me the whole month of May.
Again, not how it works at all, and you're not part of the bet.
That's exactly how it works. So last night was pretty cool. LSU hit back-to-back home runs in the third. It was White, Beloso, and Travinsky who went back-to-back-to-back. Then in the third, Jordan Thompson hit a grand slam. Tigers just had a great offensive day. Northwestern State is just not very good, obviously. Just a completely different level of competition, but LSU did what you would expect them to do. So I don't know that there's a ton of reason to delve too deeply into the nuance of that ball game last night because LSU just overmatched a team that wasn't even in the same stratosphere as they. But let's talk about the things that we can take away from that ball game. And in particular, one of the things we wanted to see was how Thatcher Herd was going to do returning to a starting role. We didn't expect Thatcher Herd to go deep into the ball game. Jay Johnson said on his pregame radio interview that that he expected Herd to go 2 innings. He went 2 1/3. So he pitched to the first batter of the third inning and struck him out, then called it a day, handed the ball off to Blake Money. But what's really interesting with Thatcher Herd is now That's 4 consecutive solid outings for Thatcher Herd. And, Jay has said pretty consistently from the beginning of the season, the middle of the season, that for this team to get where they want to go and be what they want to be, which is to win a national championship, Thatcher Herd is going to have to pitch big games and big moments for this team. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But we all know, look, you start him in the midweek role, and then they moved him into the weekend, and it wasn't going great. Then they tried him out of the bullpen, closer, back end, weekend, midweek. They tried him in a lot of different roles, and it just wasn't working for Thatcher Herd. But the last 4 outings, after that midweek loss to ULL, where Herd only went a third of an inning, allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, walked a couple of guys. Ever since then, his last 4 outings, here's what he's done. Went 4 innings against Nichols, 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 5, walked 2. Against Alabama, we know he closed that one out with an inning and 2/3, got the save, no runs, no hits, struck out a batter. Last week at Auburn, he closed out the Friday night game, pitched the final inning, struck out 2, and it was dominant. It was strikeout, weak ground out to short. And then last night, he went 2 1/3, struck out 5. He walked 2, allowed 1 run. It was on a wild pitch in the first inning, which should have been ruled a pass ball, but nonetheless. And after the sort of rocky start, if you weren't watching or listening to the very beginning of the game, Herd gives up a single, then walks a guy. Batter reaches on a fielder's choice. There was a little mound visit after there was a wild pitch and runner scored. Herd goes, he walked a guy on 4 pitches, and then he goes strikeout to end the inning, comes out for the second, gets 2 strikeouts in the second, comes out to start the third, strikes out the only batter he faced, and then calls it a night. Strikes out 5 through 2 1/3. 4 consecutive really solid outings now for Thatcher Herd, which is significant for this team for all the reasons that Jay Johnson has mentioned and that at times we have talked about. The other guy that I think is worth mentioning is Blake Money. And Blake Money had a very good night last night. Now, he did allow a home run because Blake Money allows home runs. It's oddly just a thing that he does. He's allowed homers in 6 of his outings on the season. That's just weird. I mean, he just gives up homers. But Money hasn't found the consistency that Herd has. But it's basically been in every other outing he's been good. You go back to that ULL outing. He went 2 2/3, but, it was not very good. He allowed a run on 4 hits, did strike out 3. The Alabama game, he pitched twice against Alabama. One, he had a clean inning, faced the minimum. A day later, he went an inning and 2/3, struck out a couple, didn't walk anybody, but allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. Was really good last week against Southeastern, gave you a clean inning. No, I'm sorry, he wasn't. He faced 6 batters in that inning. He hit 2 batters, walked a guy, struck out a guy. So again, went good, bad, and then last night was good again against Northwestern State. Went 3 2/3, 2 runs, 2 hits, struck out a couple, didn't walk anybody, did allow the homer. So if Blake Money can find some level of consistency, that's another valuable piece that can get you outs in the bullpen. I'm going to say this, and I know that this isn't going to be a popular opinion because everybody who wants to grab torches and pitchforks and be pissed off about how bad this pitching staff stinks. I want to point something out to you. And this isn't, I'm not spinning anything here. We all know that Paul Skeens leads the staff in ERA with a 1.73 ERA. Do you know the pitchers that are second and third on LSU's team in ERA? Have you bothered to look? It's Garrett Edwards and Chase Shores. Garrett Edwards' ERA on the season when he went down was 1.93. Shores, 1.96. Those were your 2 best arms out of the bullpen by a giant margin. You lost them both. And you lost Grant Taylor before the season, who was going to be your number 2 starter. Look, everybody deals with injuries. I get it. But the fact that Thatcher Herd is taking this really winding route to find some level of consistency, but it feels kind of like you found it now. It's 4 consecutive good outings by Herd. The fact that you've gotten Javen Coleman off of injury, and look, Coleman's ERA is 7 right now. He's at 7.11. I think we'd all agree he's pitched better than a 7 ERA. Can we agree to that? Gavin Guidry wasn't even pitching. During the fall. It wasn't until it looked like he wasn't going to play in the field as they were starting the season that they started working him in to get innings, and now have worked him into a guy who may very well be your number 3 guy this weekend. I'm just saying, pitching throughout the season, managing a pitching staff is an evolution. It's a constantly evolving process with arms and roles and guys who fit where they fit and injuries and mixing and matching. And you want to find the right pieces to the puzzle in the right places by the time you get to June. And LSU might be on the verge of doing that, which is encouraging to see. I know you're not going to think that coming out of this weekend where Christian Little was very bad. Could not get an out on Sunday. I get it. But you're starting to figure out guys' roles, and that's important as you move into the postseason. You know, who can fit where and have some consistency there, and they might be getting closer to finding that. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us here. Our open as every day brought to you by our friends over at Bud Light. Drink easy. I am so happy to be partnered with our friends at Mockler. Mockler Beverage for not only the Baton Rouge area but surrounding spots for 4 decades they've been awesome community partners. So, man, you go to this past weekend there were several church fairs. You know what were there? Big old Bud Light trucks with kegs that they donated, because every time you go to any type of charity event, you see Bud Light there, because our friends at Mockler have been great community partners for 4 decades. And I'm proud to stand with Patrick Mockler and Tim Mockler and Chris Davis and Mary Lewis and all the great people, my guy Christian Lockacher and all the great people over there. So raise a Bud Light, drink easy with our friends from Mockler here in the greater Baton Rouge area and surrounding areas. And Bud Light proudly bringing you the open to AFR. Okay, it's after further review. Cobble had a chance to sit down with Brian Kelly. Some interesting comments on the LSU quarterback situation. We're getting to that next here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find them. Agent225.com. I was talking to Darren James earlier today. He shot me a text, and unfortunately, Darren was in a bit of a car accident yesterday. He was driving down I-12. A tire fell off of a truck. And hit his car. It sent him airborne. Anyway, and if you've seen Darren's car probably around. Darren sent the vehicle into Peretti, and he said the service he got from the folks at Peretti was so incredible that he wanted to use this time today to give them a shout-out. To Thomas Zakelli, forgive me if I mispronounce it, the CFO at Peretti, and Kim Leap, who did an awesome job helping Darren get his vehicle and get great service. So shout-out from Darren James and Associates.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Get 3.99% financing at Corval Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. We also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
What's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you.
Pop, pop.
What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our warm meal. Our warm meal.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
A lot going on tonight. Of course, trivia night at Pluckers. Also, T-Bob and I will be over at Oliver Twist for scone and tea. Looking forward to that. Break-even pour tonight is E.H. Taylor, a small batch. I think it's $5 a pour for E.H. Taylor. Y'all come on see us tonight over at Oliver Twist. We'll be there at 7 o'clock for scone and tea. We'll look forward to seeing you there. So now with spring practice over, Brian Kelly is, I guess, doing some of the media rounds. I know he did an interview with Jacques Doucet, and yesterday did an interview with Michael Cobble over at WBRZ. And it's a great interview. You can check it out on their YouTube channel, on the website, a lot of different places that you can go check out the full conversation with Brian Kelly as he enters year 2 of his LSU tenure. There was a couple of things that Brian Kelly said, though, that got me thinking. I wanted to share with you and talk about a little bit here. One of them specifically is about the quarterbacks with Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier. It's never going to be short on conversation around those guys for obvious reasons. I'll get to Nussmeier in a second. I want to start with Daniels because I think we all know coming into the season, of course, Jaden Daniels is your starter. That is set. That's final. And the question is, how do you get Daniels to maximize himself to take the step to that next level, right, so he can be a championship caliber quarterback? So you can go from being a team that upsets Bama and wins the West, but has a couple of disappointing outings as well, and you end up in a nice bowl game with a really fine season, especially considering what the expectations were in year 1 and where your program had been. But how do you go from that to being a national championship contender and a team that could get to the playoff and potentially win it? So Brian Kelly did talk about that, about Jaden Daniels making the progress with another year in the program.
Just another year in the program, right? Just, understanding nutrition, understanding how to take care of himself, obviously bigger, stronger in a weight training program that he wasn't familiar with. So all those things just, going into year 2, these are the things that you should start to see. And then, we've made a lot about pushing the ball down the field. This is really letting the ball go. There were many opportunities for him to push the ball down the field. He just wasn't comfortable with what he saw. Now, another year in the offense, he sees it more clearly and the ball comes out of his hand.
I was looking at Jaden Daniels in preparation for this. I went back and looked at his freshman season and kind of compared it to this past year. And one thing that's pretty clear to me, man, is COVID really derailed Jaden Daniels. Here's what I mean. And I know giving out numbers on radio is confusing to a lot of people, and it doesn't always translate. But just, like, bear with me. I know it's going to be a lot of numbers. Bear with me. You'll understand the comp. You don't have to memorize it. It's not going to be a test. As a freshman, Jaden Daniels completed 60.7% of his passes. 2,943 yards, averaged 8.7 yards per completion, 17 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a QBR of 149.2, a quarterback rating of 149.2. The COVID year, when at Arizona State, of course, the Pac-12 had canceled their season and decided to play and played sort of a modified season, it derailed everything. You saw everything plummet. You saw his obviously attempts and the cumulative numbers plummet, but you saw yards per completion plummet. You saw his quarterback rating drop. Like, he was just a very different player. And then coming off of the COVID year in 2021, you saw a similar drawback. He went from 2,900 yards as a freshman to 2,300 yards as a junior. He went from 17 touchdowns, 2 picks to 10 and 10. Touchdowns down, interceptions up. His quarterback rating went from 149 to 136. You saw every measurable for Jaden Daniels from his freshman year after COVID plummet as a junior. There was a lot to do with that. I mean, a lot of that had to do with the fact that Arizona State was a disaster, that they really had no receivers. If you know the situation very much, Herm got fired, and there was tons of turnover, and there was allegations of everything going on within the program. It was a mess. So there was a lot going on. So you remove Jaden Daniels from Arizona State, and you put him in a less toxic, more healthy environment with Brian Kelly at LSU and Mike Denbrock and good receivers and talent, all sorts of stuff. And his year at LSU last year was almost a mirror to his freshman season. Mirrored it. 2,943 yards as a freshman, 2,913 yards this past year. Almost identical. 17 touchdowns, 2 picks as a freshman, 17 touchdowns, 3 picks this past year. QBR went from 149 as a freshman, 144.5 this past year at LSU. His freshman year was awesome, followed by COVID, disaster at Arizona State, and then a fourth year, first at LSU, where freshman year and his first year at LSU mirrored each other. So now the question is, how do you build upon this year to make sure this isn't the ceiling for Jaden Daniels? And that's going to be the fascinating part. Can he be, I hesitate to say, can he be Joe Burrow? Because I don't think that's realistic. He's not going to throw for 5,000 yards. He's not going to double his passing yardage, right? But can he go from 2,900 passing yards to 3,500? Can he go from 17 touchdowns to 25 touchdowns? You know, that's the kind of thing where you say, okay, can we see Jaden Daniels go from being a really good college quarterback who accounted for nearly 70% of LSU's offense to a guy that can take that next step and be an elite player that can will you to a win? And if he's able to do that, you can win a national championship with Jaden Daniels. If he's able to take that step from year to year, now as a fifth-year quarterback, second year in this system with Mike Denbrock, settled offensive line. Remember, we've talked about it a ton. 6 of the first 8 games, you had a rotating offensive. You had different offensive line combinations. Now you feel settled there. You got all your running backs returning. You lose Kayshawn and Jeray Jenkins, but you got tons of talent there at receiver. Mason Taylor back at tight end. You feel settled, and you should be able to build upon what you had a year ago. The other thing that Cobble talked about with Brian Kelly, of course, with the quarterbacks, was Nussmeier and the conversations they had about Nussmeier's future.
Well, as you know, he has 3 years remaining, right? So, you look at the present, and he's in a, obviously, situation where, Jaden Daniels has been the starter, and he has to factor in, all right, do I get an opportunity this year? Well, we have to make sure that he got meaningful reps with the first group because we believe that he can lead us to a championship as well. But if it didn't pan out for him this year, he still has 2 seasons of competition, and we know that that's a lifetime in college football today. Many quarterbacks are going in the first first round with 1 year. Joe Burrow obviously had 2, but one great year put him as a first round pick. So I think, Garrett's smart enough to know that with 3 years, he puts himself in a great position to lead this program and lead it to a championship.
The question is, will he stay here for 3 years? And that is impossible to know. Remember, Garrett Nussmeier does not have a COVID year. He redshirted in 2021, where he did not play in the bowl game, remember, against Kansas State. So he took a red shirt. Then last year was his redshirt freshman year. So he's got 3 to play 3, essentially. It is impossible to know if Garrett Nussmeier is going to stay 3 years without knowing what happens in 2023 and potentially 2024. Could you make it through this year? Jaden Daniels is the starter. You go into spring next year and you add a quarterback in spring via the portal? Sure. You did it last year. I mean, last year you had Miles Brennan, and you had Garrett Nussmeier, and you had Walker Howard coming in, and they still went and got Jaden Daniels. So you never know. I mean, there could be that scenario next spring. Or maybe Nussmeier's your starter in 2024, and maybe he doesn't play well, and so you add a player after that season, and Nussmeier leaves. Or maybe Nussmeier plays 2024 is awesome, and we're begging him to come back for another go at it in 2025. It's just impossible to know for certain. It's just, you can't plan 3-4 years in advance at quarterback anymore. You have to live in the present every single year. So I don't think you're necessarily looking at it that far ahead. But one thing that's evident is that's the message Brian Kelly is telling Garrett Nussmeier. He's like, look, you got 3 more years. That is what they are telling him, is laying out the big picture. And specifically with Garrett, the thing that benefits him and LSU, vis-a-vis, is the fact that he's the son of a coach. He's not a guy that needs to run to an NIL deal. You know what I mean? He's a guy whose dad is old school and could probably lean into, hey, you don't transfer. You stay where you are. You stick it out. There's benefit and merit to watching and growing and learning. I mean, all the things that Doug Nussmeier would likely tell his college quarterbacks, he can now tell his son, which may end up benefiting LSU. We'll see in time if it does play out that way. But some interesting comments there. Again, Michael Cobble did a long interview with Brian Kelly. You can check it out on the WBRZ YouTube channel or at WBRZ.com. All right, it's after further review. Taylor Calandro in studio for Little Bourbon Dictionary in about 15 minutes. Let me knock out a quick break around the SEC. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. Love telling you about the Renaissance Hotel, and 2 things in particular. Number 1 is their meeting space. Remember, if you're trying to host a meeting, any type of event in Baton Rouge, the Renaissance Hotel, I love this. Allison over there, the meetings coordinator, always says, we are the events coordinator. We are in the business of saying yes. They will find a way to accommodate what it is you are trying to do. Maybe you have a board meeting that you want to have for your business. You have a dozen people. They have elegant, discreet boardrooms that you can have your board meetings there. Maybe you have a fundraiser or an awards banquet or a wedding reception or fraternity, sorority events. You can have them at the Renaissance Hotel, where their ballroom can host as much as 500 people. It's the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. They host so many of the visiting teams when they come into Baton Rouge to play. And, of course, they host the LSU football team on Fridays before football games. It's the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. Operator, won't you put me
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you.
Pop, pop.
What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We know LSU is, the women's basketball team is heading to the White House later this month, May the 26th to be exact. The Georgia football team is not, however, going to visit the White House. This is kind of odd. They went a year ago. The odd thing is that the White House is being describing this day, June the 12th, as College Athlete Day. And so that's when they invited not only the Georgia football team, but several other college teams, as it's detailed here, to visit the White House. And Georgia says that their team schedule interferes with that suggested date. They'll be into off-season workouts and all, so whatever. But it's odd that the basketball teams, the LSU women and the UConn men, are going on May 26th, and then 2 weeks later is when they're having this College Athlete Day, and that's when they invited the Georgia football team. So listen, I mean, I understand that the White House is a busy place. There's a lot going on. It's just odd to me that there's a conflict of the dates where you have basketball teams going on May 26th, and then you were going to invite other sports on June the 12th. So I don't know why that transpired the way that it did, but the Georgia football team will not be making the customary visit to the White House to celebrate their national championship. It's after further review. We're going to go around the SEC in a second. Taylor Calandra will be in studio in about 10 minutes, and he is bringing in a new whiskey barrel pick, and I'm excited to try it. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I got a text from my buddy Trey Erie, I went to high school with back in the day, and Trey's the one who, I don't know if you remember this, I shared it with you. Trey shared the story with, he has a bay window in his home, and his dog was looking out of the window at a squirrel and jumped through the window to get the squirrel, just obliterating their window. He sent me a picture. Anyway, raved about Relief Windows, how quick they were to come out and measure everything. And he said, he just texted me, and he said, 3 weeks from my call to them, they are in production. He said, unreal. You're going to see Relief Windows called out on construction documents very soon. He's fired up on him. And he sent me the text from Relief Windows about their order being in production. Considering how much we've heard so much about workflow and all that sort of stuff since COVID, right? Supply chain and everything issues have been an issue. Relief Windows continues to jam. They continue to churn out jobs and work harder than anybody. With Brandon Holly, it's always experience, quality, and service. That's what you get with Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Georgia Bulldogs.
Well, the Georgia football team has had a turbulent offseason. It continued. Wide receiver Denylon Morissette was arrested on multiple driving charges, including driving under the influence. This was after 3:30 a.m. Monday. He's a sophomore, played in 11 games last season. He's the fourth member of Georgia's 2022 football team to be arrested since they won the national championship.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn is adding an 8th offensive lineman this offseason. Got a commitment via the transfer portal from Tulsa. That was way over your head. There was no need to duck out of the way, Alondra. That was at least 1.5 feet over your head. Tulsa lineman Jaden Muskrat. That's really his name. Muskrat. Jaden Muskrat. He's committed to Auburn. He's the second former Tulsa offensive lineman to join Auburn this offseason. They added Dylan Wade earlier. He was the Golden Hurricanes starting right tackle last season. Former two-star recruit, 6'3", 307, 12 starts and 20 appearances at Tulsa. He's the fourth post-spring addition for Auburn, 16th since Hugh Freeze took over as head coach.
Texas A&M!
Safety Jordan Pride has committed to the Aggies. Picked Texas A&M over Florida, Florida State, Alabama, Arkansas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. So they had much more arc in that. 6'1.5", 175-pounder. He decommitted from Florida State in April, is now pledged to the Aggies. The number 6 safety in the country, the number 94 overall prospect. He is the 6th commit for the Aggies 2024 class.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
State men's basketball nabbed its first transfer portal commit this offseason. Jimmy Bell, a center from West Virginia, has announced he is transferring to Mississippi State. Picked Mississippi State over Missouri with 1 year of eligibility left. Bell is 6'10", 285, never averaged more than 5 points per game, however. Let's take a look at the Diamond last night around the Southeastern Conference. Memphis and Mississippi State was canceled because of weather, as was Auburn and Samford. South Carolina lost at home to North Florida, 8-5. I tell you, season's over for the Gamecocks. They stink. Vandy, game that was on ESPN2, went to extra innings. Vandy beat Louisville 12-8. Tennessee upended Austin Peay 9-4. Kentucky, no issues with Tennessee Tech. 9-2 was the final there. Texas A&M blew out UT Rio Grande. Texas A&M blew out UT Rio Grande 11-1. LSU run-ruled Northwestern State, and Alabama beat Troy 7-2. There you have it. That is Around the SEC. Presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal. Excuse me. It gets me all choked up. I'm talking about Gulf Coast Office Products. Great people. GCOPnet.com. GCOPnet.com. You can see them. They're right off of I-12 near Sherwood and Airline. You cannot miss Gulf Coast Office Products right there if you're driving down I-12. But, man, you can always pop in and say hello. You can see a lot of the great products that they have. Remember, with offices in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, no matter where you are, they can get to you same day, worst case scenario, 10 a.m. the next day at Gulf Coast Office Products. Online, GCOPnet.com. All right, glad to have you aboard with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. I do want to, if you missed it, big story of the day, Foster Moreau has signed with the New Orleans Saints. Talked about it yesterday that the Saints, the report from Brooke Kirchhoffer was that the Saints, that Moreau had an offer from the Saints, but other teams were interested. So yesterday we talked a good bit about why it makes sense. Today, pen to paper, Foster Moreau is a New Orleans Saint. That's awesome. We'll get to that. And the something we talked about earlier this week was that it looked like there was a report that the Saints were going to play in Germany. Well, that report was disproven yesterday as the NFL has released its international schedule. What does that mean for the Saints? Again, we'll get to that coming up here in about 18 minutes, right after the top of the hour. All right, final break of hour number 1. When we come back, let's talk some booze. Taylor Calandro from Calandro's will jump aboard with us. He'll be in studio. My understanding is that he's bringing a new barrel pick that I am tickled to try. We'll do that next here on AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about New Orleans flooring because, well, they save you a ton of money on great flooring options. NOLAflooring.com, NOLAflooring.com. 2 locations, Metairie and Airline Highway in Prairieville. So if you're in the greater New Orleans area, New Orleans Flooring, hence the name. Or if you're in the greater Baton Rouge area, they're on Airline in Prairieville. Go south on Airline, you pass the Walmart in Prairieville. On your right, I mean, we're just past the Walmart. It's right there on your right. Blue awning, blue sign, New Orleans Flooring. You can't miss it. Go in, say what's up to Big Sean. Tell Terrell we said hello. Great people over there. They're going to treat you right. Look, if you're Maybe you're outfitting an entire apartment complex. Maybe you're just redoing the floors in your home. Whatever it is, New Orleans Flooring can help. And I always say, buy where the pros buy. There's a reason the pros buy New Orleans Flooring, because they save them 40-50% on great flooring options. They can do the same for you at your home with 12 months, same as cash financing. One place, New Orleans Flooring.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. A parent reporting a nightmare situation for his daughter at Estruma High School. A teacher under investigation accused of having sex with a student at school. The sheriff's office launching an investigation. Hear what the alleged victim's father has to say. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you.
Pop, pop.
What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Time for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Welcome in Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Talk a little booze. You can always get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Yeah, we're standing.
Yeah,
so
standing segment.
I was talking to Alondra because my head's cut off on that shot. Just as a heads up.
It just cut off your bald head.
Shut up.
It's all right.
Guy. Now lean back. Now you're in my shot. See, I want you to be mindful of where you are. See, you're throwing barbs. I'm going to throw them right back at you, right between your eye. Right between your eyeballs.
Standing segment was my idea just now.
Yeah, it was your idea.
Figure we all need to be a little healthier.
Screwed up all the cameras and whatnot. Okay, so you said you wanted to come in because we got a little treat here today. I always ask you what's new. So what is new?
So I talked about it last week. We got this Penelope Architect barrel pick. If you're unfamiliar with the Penelope Architect series, they take their regular barrel strength 4 or 5 year old bourbon, and then they age it for an additional amount of time on French oak staves. So the process is a little similar to like Maker's 46 or a Maker's Private Select. Maker's Private Select uses different staves. This is French oak staves, and Maker's actually does use French oak staves as one of their stave selections. The French oak, I mean, they char it, and they use kind of a different process. It's like a laser etching char. It's kind of a prototype, I think, that they're doing over there.
So this is a barrel pick. Awesome.
Yes.
It says selected by Calandros on there. So when did you all select it?
We selected it about a month and a half ago, and we got it yesterday.
Do we know, is it age stated?
It's not, but it's in the 5-6 year old range.
Okay,
their normal everyday bourbon is 4 or 5 years old, and this is just a little bit older than that.
My experience with Penelope has been really good. The Penelope Toasted that they did was fantastic. The Louisiana Select, that was probably my first introduction to what they did, which was really, really good. And then I think you might have brought in some Architect in the past before. Maybe. I think maybe we drank some of one of the Penelope Architect bottles during the raffle this year when you all were in studio.
Probably, but this is the first time we've done an Architect barrel, and I if it's not the first one in Louisiana, it's one of the first handful because they just started doing the Architect single barrel picks. So this is 110 proof. It's $65.
The proof is, I was about to say 110 proof, so that's very nice. It's not going to be too mild that you won't taste or feel it, but not too potent to where you're just going to drink fire. So
I think 110 is a good agreeable proof for a lot of people. It's not super high up there.
Oh, the French oak staves is very pronounced.
Yes.
On there. That is very pronounced. Very good. Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, just the regular Architect.
And even it says intense stave on the back. Like that. Oh, that is very
intense char.
It is very pronounced, but it's good. It's very good.
So is that a good thing?
No,
for you?
It's a very good thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't need to feel like I'm licking a tree. I don't need something so oaky that it's just overwhelming. But I do like a very heavy, bold, oaky bourbon. Absolutely, I think it's very good.
It's you get that extra French oak chariness. It's nice. It's not overbearing. It's got a little heat to it because of that 110.
Very nice finish. A nice long finish on it as well.
A little bit of spice on it too, and that comes from their 4-grain mash bill that they do at Penelope. And like Matt said, Penelope has been doing everything really, really, really good.
Where are they from?
They are based out of New Jersey, actually.
No kidding.
Yes. They source everything from MGP in Indiana, but they are based out of New Jersey. So it's kind of weird.
No doubt. But really, really good. I mean, I'm not super particular in the sense that some people say, I won't touch it if it's sourced or this or that. It's not from Kentucky, yada, yada. I mean, MGP does great stuff, and if you do it right and you finish it properly, you can get absolutely fantastic whiskey.
And I'm of the opinion that I just don't care where it came from. If it tastes good, I want to drink it. And that whole sourcing thing has kind of gone away because sourcing has become so popular because there's so many distilleries now. Yeah. But there's really good liquid. It's coming out of MGP. I mean, they know what they're doing.
Of course. Is this Penelope barrel pick at both locations or just at Perkins?
It is at both locations. It's definitely at Perkins. I think they were working it out at Government Street today. If not, it'll be available at Government Street tomorrow morning.
Okay, the Government Street location of Calandra is just down the road from where we are, and then Perkins is right there at Segan. We always get to questions. Brandon Frederick said, ask Taylor, is any of the 0% alcohol on the market any good?
I'm assuming he's asking about spirits. All of the spirits that I've tried that are 0% alcohol are absolutely atrociously disgusting. They are
What's
awful.
What's the point? I mean,
there's a market for it, and in the non-alcoholic segment of alcohol is getting way bigger. The beer, there's a lot of breweries that are starting to do it. I don't know why it's becoming so popular, but the spirits I've had literally taste like flavored water. I mean, like vanilla flavored water.
I don't have that problem. because I will.
I mean, I have to try them.
Sure, I get it.
I've only tried 1 or 2 or 3 different types. The one whiskey I had was god-awful. So that's my opinion.
Whiskey with no alcohol?
Yes.
How does that even...
Wood water with vanilla flavoring.
I'm going to hard pass on that
Yeah,
one.
you should.
Lowe's Daddy said, ask Taylor, how many bottles do you get to add to your own collection throughout a year?
I don't. I'm kind of weird about saving stuff. I'd rather get rid of it. I save all of our barrel picks throughout the year. I save one of those. There's bottles that my collection is different. It's not Pappy and all that stuff. I like one-off weird things that I know are not going to come back. So I mean, I save bottles throughout the year, but it's not a ton.
By the way, shout out to Craig Duca, sent me this link. MGP acquired Penelope 2 days ago.
Really?
How about this? $100 million.
Oh,
I'm looking at this new. He sent me the text. I
did not know that. I'm gonna have to text
Incredible.
Mike, the one of the owners over there. I had no good for them.
Sold for $105 million up front with a maximum potential payout of $110.8 million.
Oh my God, that's shocking. This distillery is very young too.
They've done it right. They've done a great job.
They have done it right.
Greg Lehman asked Taylor, when you're in a slump in life, what's your go-to whiskey?
When I'm in a slump at life, I try not to drink whiskey because it's a depressant. But I would go for something barrel proof. I always say go for something barrel proof, like Elijah Craig or a Booker's, or even, you know what? When life's getting you down, drink a little nip of Angel's Envy Rye to get you some sweetness.
I like that. That's good. That's a good choice. That's one that's pricey but readily available anywhere.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic. You know what's weird too is when I first got into the whiskey kick. That was hard to find. Like you couldn't get the Angel's Envy Rye everywhere.
7 or 8 years ago,
that's about right.
It was kind of allocated, kind of weird. I mean, now it's pretty readily available. I mean, anywhere that has a good whiskey selection, you're going to find it. And if you haven't tried it, we mention it a lot on the show. It's totally different. It's not your everyday rye. It's fantastic, like a good little after dinner sipper.
Before you go, we got less than a minute. RTDs, I know we're big right now. Beer, anything else popping right now?
Well, we've got good local beer coming in. We've got some good stuff from Agile Brewing. That's an in-state brewery too. That's coming down the pipe. Nothing that I can think of though, RTD wise, off the top of my head.
All right, Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. The Penelope Calandro's barrel pick available at both locations. $65, you said?
$64.99.
$64.99.
We also dropped some allocated stuff today at Perkins Road, by the way.
Why no call? That's brutal.
Well, I was going to do it on the radio, and you could find out now.
Hour 2 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. If you are looking for tires, the only place you need to go is Shawbills, because at Shawbills, they're going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. Start here. Go to the website. Go to ShawBillsTire.com. You're looking at your tires. They're a little threadbare. You think you need new tires. Go to ShawBillsTire.com. You can hit the promotions tab at the top of the page, and you'll see all of their current offers, all the specifications. So there's not like, any sticker shock or, is there fine print, whatever. You can see all of the specifications for all of their deals at ShawBillsTire.com. Hit the promotions tab, and these are for name brand tires. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Firestone. It's all there at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. At Shawbills, look, if you need anything done to your vehicle, from an oil change, the tires rotated, to squeaky brakes, they got you, and they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. 18 locations across South Louisiana. It's Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I'm Kevin Winter. 2 Game 5s tonight in the NBA. 2 Game 4s in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Golden State Warriors, as a franchise, 1-14 all time. They trail a best-of-7 series, 3-1. One of those wins was back in 2016. They rallied to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. One of the losses, 2019, the NBA Finals against the Toronto Raptors. Tonight, for the third time ever under Steve Kerr, Golden State plays a playoff game down 3-1 in a best-of-7. Lakers and the Warriors coverage on most ESPN radio stations begins 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Games also available on the ESPN app and SiriusXM Channel 80. Also tonight, the Knicks and the Heat from the big city, with Miami leading that series 3-1. On the ice tonight, Panthers and Maple Leafs. Game 4 kicks off an ESPN television doubleheader. Hockey Analytics gave Florida a 2% chance to win the Cup when they trailed the Bruins 3-1 in round 1. Tonight, they go for a sweep of Toronto in round 2, 7 Eastern. By the way, the percentage to win the Cup for Florida is now sitting at 25%. Leafs and Panthers followed by Game 4 to Edmonton Oilers hosting Vegas. Golden Knights up 2-1.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Alondra Villarreal. Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll wrap up our SEC spring recaps, in about 15 minutes. Jordan Hill covers the Georgia Bulldogs, two-time defending national champs. So we'll head to Athens. Again, that's coming up here in about, that's going to be at the bottom of this hour. So about 30 minutes from right now. The great news today, as many of you have probably seen, Foster Moreau has signed his contract with the New Orleans Saints yesterday right here on this very show. We talked about it in detail. Can you go to the Saints Twitter and grab the photos of Foster signing his contract? Love it. He's wearing in the picture that the Saints took at the Saints facility of Foster Moreau signing his contract. He's wearing a No White Flags Team Gleason t-shirt, and he's wearing Zion dunks. I love the fact that Foster Moreau is so all in. He is wearing like Zion shoes. I love him. Like, it is a guy from New Orleans. Obviously went to Jesuit, played for LSU, and now has an opportunity to come home and play for the hometown team. You've absolutely got to love this. Yeah, can you pull up each picture individually? Yep. You can get the shirt first. Yeah, so you can see if you're watching on YouTube or WBTR, you'll see it right there. So Foster wearing the thank you, Alondra, wearing the Defend Team Gleason No White Flag shirt, and then there are the Zions. By the way, you know how sometimes you know when you're doing a good partnership. The first time I went to the Renaissance Hotel, great sponsor, to go meet with the folks over there. So Nathaniel Tannehill is the GM of the Renaissance Hotel. First time I met him, he's wearing those Zions. I'm like, oh, we're going to get along great, dude. We're going to get along so good. Total sneakerhead. I loved it. Anyway, so Foster Moreau, obviously all in. And we have talked now for 2 months about why Moreau makes sense with the Saints. The fact that the Saints need a tight end, and this was even before they traded away Adam Troutman, right? And the Saints have always had their pass-catching tight end and then their prototypical, like, inline blocking tight end who can also catch passes if it was Dan Campbell or Dan Arnold or recently here Nick Vannett, Michael Ho'omanawanui, Josh Hill. You know the long list of tight ends the Saints brought in sort of as a complement to their pass-catching tight end. The Jimmy Graham, the Benjamin Watson, the Jared Cook, the Kobe Fleener. So they don't have that guy, and there really aren't any options in free agency. Foster Moreau, at 26 years old, 4 years in the league, who played with Derek Carr with the Raiders, made the most sense, and obviously now you're bringing him home, and so the cancer diagnosis was just devastating to see, but the prognosis is very good, and the fact that the Saints are willing to take this step and give Foster Moreau this contract is certainly indicative of the fact that they believe he's going to be at some point this season ready to go, and that all the diagnosis is very good. And Foster looks great. I mean, I don't know what types of treatment he's undergoing. He hasn't spoken publicly very much about this other than the GMA interview that he gave, but physically looks great in the pictures that the Saints posted today, and Saints are moving on in that direction, which is awesome. Really sort of provided Foster gets back on the field sooner than later, is a big boost to a room where they certainly needed help. Okay, it's after further review. The Saints, the full NFL schedule is coming out on Thursday. I want to update some of that here in a second. Remind you about Mold Zero USA, mold-0usa.com. That's mold-0usa.com. Kill mold, remove odors, kill dozens of other pathogens there with Mold Zero. It's a patented non-toxic dry fog. When you think, man, if you have mold or you have odors or if you have water damage, you typically think, man, it's going to be a mess. You're going to have to cut sheetrock and you're going to have to pull out insulation and you're going to have to pull out carpet and all this different stuff. Not necessarily. Call Mold Zero. A lot of times, less than a day. They can be in and out. Spray their patented non-toxic dry fog and then let the fog dwell. As soon as it dissipates, they're gone. Mold-0usa.com. Mold-0usa.com. Mold-0usa.com is the website if you want to check it out for Mold Zero USA. All right, it's after further review. That's not their website. That's how Alondra's looking at me like, I was like, that's why I was saying it very slowly. Hey, Muse.
Yo.
I'm pretty fired up about something.
Okay, what you got?
Well, the Saints are playing in Germany. And as the program director, I kind of feel like I get to make decisions now. I don't kind of feel like it. I mean, I get to make decisions. I get to make decisions on remotes. I get to make decisions on our on-air lineup schedule.
Yeah.
I get to make decisions on things like travel. Who's going to go to the College World Series?
Yeah.
Who's going to go to SEC Media Days? Are we going to cover the Super Bowl, the Final Four?
All that.
I mean, earlier this week, we got that. Oh, it was last week. Oh, crank that up a little bit. What a lively tune.
Like this?
Lively tune.
Well,
Crank it up.
Oktoberfest,
Crank
man.
it up. Crank it up. Yeah. I love this. I mean, Muse, I'm going to send myself to Germany for the Saints and the Patriots.
Just you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to bring you.
That'd be cool.
Someone's got to stay back here and push buttons. I'd love for you to come, Muse. I would love for you to come.
Somebody's got to tech the remote too, though.
That's all good. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
But anyway, no. But really, thanks for the offer. I think I should probably year one just kind of go it alone here. But
okay.
Did you know this? There's 84.4 million people living in Germany.
I did not know that.
Yep,
No.
I'm brushing up a little bit.
You should be.
For my impending trip to Germany for the Saints and the Patriots. Oh, listen to that.
Now
They're
it's
singing
really
it.
good. Here you go.
Oh, you crank that up a little bit. Yeah, let me hear a little bit more of that. Yeah. Oh, listen to that. That's so good. Bratwurst.
I like it.
Bratwurst.
Dude, brats are so good.
How about their beer? How about this? 1/3 of Germany. Did you know this? 1/3 of Germany still covered in forests and woodlands.
I didn't know that.
How about that?
Germany's big, too, man. It's a big country. You know what you should do?
What's that?
Is you should mandate Lee Feinswag from here on out until the Saints play the Patriots, only German beers, so you know what to try when you go.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right?
I'm going to drink a lot of beer when I'm in Germany. Of course, this is a work trip, though.
Yeah.
But you know what else? You know who the auto company I endorse?
Chauvilles.
The auto company.
Oh.
Try again.
Oh, South Point Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Yes, Volkswagen. Volkswagen, the great German engineering.
That's true,
of course,
too.
Germany has the Autobahn, no speed limit.
None.
Blow and go. I bet Kelly over at South Point could make a call to someone there at the VW plant in Germany. Get me a nice little ride. I can ride along the Autobahn. That's market research for a sponsor, isn't it?
Yeah. You could broadcast from the plant.
I could broadcast from the Autobahn as I'm driving down.
That's dangerous.
Hands-free. I'd go hands-free.
Okay.
Did you know there are 1,500 breweries in Germany with 7,000 sorts of beer available?
I didn't know that. I do now.
How about that? 7th largest country in Europe. Germans' love for beer is expressed in their popular song, Durst, Word, Durst Bier ist erschön, which translates to thirst is only beautiful when accompanied by beer.
Do you think that's this song?
I don't know. Why don't you look it up? What does that say?
I don't know. It just says it's a 21-minute long video of Austrian and German beer hall songs. It's got to be
It's got to be it. Am I saying this? How is my accent? Alonzo, you're international. You're Mexican, so maybe you could tell me. You know foreign accents, right? Durst, Word, Deutsch, Bier erst schon.
From
No.
the very little German that I know.
No good.
No, it was okay. It was okay. Gives me like Call of Duty vibes.
We got to get Jesse on the phone. We're gonna have to sell this trip. So sponsors that want to line up to sponsor our coverage of the Saints and Patriots in Germany. I don't know if you saw the rest of the schedule here, Muse. The week 4, the Falcons are going to play in Wembley Stadium against Jacksonville.
That's going to be cool.
Jacksonville is playing back-to-back weeks overseas. They're just going to stay with it. They're playing Jackson.
They love that.
They're playing the Falcons in week 4, and then they're going to play the Bills at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in week 5. Week 9, the Dolphins are going to play the Chiefs in Frankfurt, Germany.
Love that.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium will also host Ravens-Titans in week 6.
Cool.
And then the Colts and the Patriots are going to play in Frankfurt in week 10.
Well, wait. No. The Saints are supposed to play the Patriots, right?
Oh, yeah. No, they're going to play the Patriots.
When?
Yeah. Oh, they haven't released that yet, but this just says the Colts and the Patriots are going to play in Frankfurt in Week 10.
Do you know why they haven't released that yet, Matt?
I'm sure they're just waiting for the full schedule release tomorrow. I mean, it's Wednesday today. The full schedule release is coming out on Thursday. We learned last week the Saints and the Patriots are going to play in Germany. So I've already begun planning my trip. I mean, I've got the airline tickets booked already. I'm sitting first class, by the way, Muse.
Okay.
You know what I want? I want one of those first class pods that the LSU guys have in the locker room.
Yeah, those are
That's
cool.
what I
Yeah.
want. So like I wanted to get first class because I don't have my own locker at LSU, so I figured let me just, get one on my trip to Germany.
Yeah, see, I thought you were just messing around here.
We're lining up some of the brewery tours already
no.
as well.
No.
And you know me, Muse. I kind of like to stay at nice places. So got a week scheduled at the Ritz there in Frankfurt already. Pretty excited about that. First class, staying at the Ritz. Going to do it big, all on Gordy's dime. Really excited about this trip to Germany. So we'll find out whenever. I
don't know how to tell you this, Matt. The Saints aren't playing in Germany. That was announced today. See, I thought you were just messing around and you knew that. That's why the Patriots are playing the Colts.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah. Yeah, the Saints aren't playing in Germany. So you're not going to Germany?
No. We got the report last week that the Saints were playing the Patriots in Germany. It can't be. Dov Kleeman had it.
Dang it. It was wrong. Dov was wrong. And Dov didn't have it. Dov had it from somebody else who had it first.
No, you don't understand, Muse. Like, the report came last week. The Saints and the Patriots are playing in Frankfurt, Germany, and we just don't know what week it's going to be, but the Saints are going to play internationally, and then I've got my flight, and I'm going to sit in the pod, and I'm going to stay at the Ritz, and I'm going to drink all the beer in Germany and eat bratwurst and, wear lederhosen and have a time.
But they announced all the German games today, and the Saints weren't one of them.
So I'm not going to Germany.
You're not. You are not going to Germany. I'm sorry. Neither are the Saints, though. Hey, think of it this way. At least they don't lose a home game.
No, it's a Patriots home game.
Oh, well, there you go.
They're not losing a home.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year they'll be in Germany.
Well,
and you can do your remote there from the Autobahn. Maybe it'll even be during Oktoberfest.
Well, who's to say you can't go anyway?
Yeah, the tickets are non-refundable. So looks like we'll be covering Colts Patriots Week 10 in Frankfurt. Let's go, Pats! Line them up, Muse. I'm still drinking beer in Germany.
AFR.
I bet you can get some German beer at Rouse's. Muse, when I'm in Germany, how about this, Muse? I'll be in Germany. You go over to Rouse's, get you some German beer, put on some lederhosen, eat a bratwurst that you could probably buy brats at Rouse's as well. I don't know that for sure, but probably. And you could have your own little German party here while I'm in Frankfurt.
Okay.
Sounds like a good time. Rouse's, they got everything. Hey, look, Mother's Day is on Sunday. They got cakes for mom. Graduation season is upon us. You need cakes for that grad. They got it. Of course, at Rouse's, they've got a beautiful floral department as well. So you're going to buy flowers for mom. You could do it at Rouse's. You need dinner plans tonight. Rouse's has pre-prepared meals, grab and go for the whole family. Or you can go into the deli. You could pick and choose what you want, make your own plate, take it home for yourself. They got it at Rouse's. Rouse's is the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Take care of mom this weekend. Get everything you need for Mother's Day at Rouse's.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off, plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks, and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance, with the latest in office technology. From desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
Look behind you.
Oh, dear Lord. You suck.
On the nose! 420 on the nose. It's your time, Muse.
It's not my time.
You enjoy it. You know how many people texted and emailed the show like, hey, bro, the Saints aren't playing in Germany. We know!
No, really.
I love radio so much.
You literally read through all of the games that were playing in Germany and did not mention the Saints. That happened.
Are you new to the show?
Yeah.
Have you not been listening
First
to me?
timer?
Have you not been listening to me for half of your adult life? I mean, I want to, like, much love, like, seriously, love and respect to everybody. Cedric Parms, he sends me like a screen grab of the link. He's like, sorry, dude, they're not playing there. Matt Rudiger.
He's looking out for you, man.
Matt Rudiger, Saints not going to Germany. Oh, thanks.
Wasn't there a movie about him, Matt Rudiger?
That's Rudy Rudiger. Had the whole thing booked.
Whole thing. Boy, Sales is going to be pissed.
Can I say you also said it at like the beginning of the show too? You're like, Saints aren't playing in Germany.
Well, but that I did, and I thought about that, Alondra. But the other thing too is like you realize how people use radio. Like the average commute here is right around 20 minutes, so people are constantly in and out of the car. So it doesn't matter. Like the people that are there at 3 and are here until 6, it's so few. So you realize how people use it. So use radio. That's why resets matter, and you can do bits whenever you want. So radio is undefeated. I love radio so much. Theater of the mind. But anyway, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Tyler Tullos, he sent me the link and then came back and sent another email. I get the joke now. Well done, sir. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for listening or watching. We appreciate it very much. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid. Smash that like button. We appreciate you. Despite my my deception. Please don't take it personally. I appreciate you all. And, of course, all of you who are watching on WBTR as well. Okay. So we are going to do our final SEC spring recap here in about 10 minutes. We'll look at the Georgia Bulldogs. Right now, though, so we're just going to flip what we normally do here on Wednesdays. Let's do overrated, underrated.
Overrated or underrated?
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
Overrated or underrated?
That was so funny, dude.
The DMV.
So we're talking about the DMV or the OMV?
The DMV. And not Dallas, Maryland. I'm not DC, Maryland, Virginia. Like the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah. So the DMV is worthless. Does not need to exist at all. The Office of Motor Vehicles, shout out to my guy Brooke Barnett, the OMV on Perkins and Segan right there. And
It's clutch. It's an express, too.
No, it's most of them. Many of them, I should say. And the reason that works so fluidly that the way it does is because it's privatized. Our government doesn't run it and screw it up. That's why when you walk in, there's iPads and you tap and you're not even sitting for 10 minutes and they churn and go because it's privately owned and run. The government doesn't screw it up with all their red tape and bureaucracy and crap. It's just an efficiently run business. So the Office of Motor Vehicles, in particular those owned and run by Brooke Barnett, shout out. The Department of Motor Vehicles kick rocks for being slow and inefficient.
Overrated or underrated? Animal crackers.
I had a friend that works for the DMV, too. He's probably going to be pissed. He's like, hey, man, what is that all about? It's not your fault, bro. I love you, but, you know. I'm sorry, what again?
Animal crackers.
Overrated. Not good. Very bland. A poor snack choice. It's a waste of calories, quite honestly. It's something you eat as a kid because it is generally bland, and you trick kids into eating them because they're shaped like animals and they're fun. An animal cracker is only acceptable if you are using it to dip something. For example, my wife makes this chocolate chip cheesecake dip. It's divine. I don't even know how to describe it other than it's like a whipped cheesecake dip with chocolate chips in it.
It's still got crust, though?
No, it's a dip. It's like a dessert dip, and she uses as the chips animal crackers because it's bland enough, but a cookie and good texture that it matches. I'll have her make it one day, but that's the only real good use for an animal cracker is if you are using it to dip something.
I'm
otherwise
thrown
it's a waste
off by that dip. My
it's
goodness,
a waste
that
of
sounds
calories.
incredible.
It's fantastic. Yes.
Overrated or underrated? True crime content, like true crime pods.
It's
people on
hard.
Books.
It's hard for me to say. So I'm not interested in it, but the fact that it has scaled the way it has is mightily impressive. And shows like 2020 and whatever have existed for so long that it hits the nail on the head. So I'd even say it's properly rated is what I would say. It certainly scratches an itch. It feeds a need. It fits into a funnel and niche that people really enjoy and continues to scale. So I'll say properly rated.
Overrated or underrated? Eating at the dinner table.
I think eating at the dinner table is you're kind of giving me all that I think are properly rated. I think eating at the dinner table is it's gonna be a very boring answer to many. Nobody. Do you do it? Does your family do it anymore?
Not really.
Does
Holidays.
Nightly.
Yes.
Nightly.
I think so. I can't say.
Growing up, did your family
Yes.
eat at the dinner table together every night?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. I think it's a rarity. I think we largely have lost our ability to communicate. I'm not one of these people who bemoans technology. Oh, it's so sad. Kids always have their head in their phone, or we're sitting on the subway or the bus. You know, if you're in New York, everyone's just all looking at their phone or the plane. What did they do in 1930? They all looked at newspapers and magazines. It's the same concept. You're not talking to the person next to you. You're preoccupied with whatever is the technology of the day that's going to take your time and your attention. It doesn't matter if you're reading something on a physical newspaper or on your phone. You're still reading something. It's that part always bugs me. But the opportunity to sit down and communicate with people, sometimes we do lose, especially our families. So yes, I do believe that is a very important thing. So eating at the dinner table is probably even underrated. We should do it more. Yes, we should communicate with the people we love.
That's overrated, underrated.
This is After Further Review. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Trivia tonight, 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. Y'all get on by. I got to do the Pluckers live read next. So, I mean, I'm basically doing a live read, and then I'm about to do it right when he hits the stab. So we'll go to Athens, Georgia next.
AFR.
And today is brought to you by Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Muse, I got to check what our trivia categories are tonight. Shout out to my guy Stevie Levy, the king of the wing, the owner over at Pluckers, who did, in fact, send me the trivia questions. Oh. Okay. You know what, Muse? You got to punch your shot today.
Looking forward to it.
You got to punch your shot. We'll get to some Pluckers trivia. 1 hour from right now, we'll lob a few questions at Muso, see how he does. You can go test your own knowledge tonight. You can spin the prize wheel. Even if you don't win a round, everyone can spin the prize wheel, so everyone's going to win something on the prize wheel if you get a team and you go out to Pluckers. It could be Pluckers gift cards. It could be Amazon gift cards. It could be other great prizes. It's every Wednesday trivia night at Pluckers. Need a place to watch the game? Any game, you could do so at Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. It's Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. The SEC Spring Recap on After Further Review. The Georgia Bulldogs.
All right, when you go back-to-back, What do you do for an encore ×2? Let's find out. Jordan Hill covers the Dogs for Dogs 247. He's on Twitter at Jordan Davis Hill. Hey, man, thanks for the time. How are you?
No problem. Yeah, doing really good. Enjoying a little bit of early summer weather out here in Athens and trying to enjoy it until it gets too hot.
Man, Bulldogs, back-to-back national champs. So last year we said, what do you do for an encore? Well, they win another championship. So now that they've gone back-to-back, what does this team do for an encore?
Well, they are, it appears to be the betting favorites to go do it again, which would make history, something that has not been done in college football in the modern era and not since Minnesota, I believe, in the 30s. So they have the talent. They've got a lot of big positions to fill, namely quarterback with Stetson Bennett finally moving on and going off to the NFL with the Rams. But they've got a lot of talent. They are still really, really in good shape on defense, the way they've recruited year after year. I think they're going to be the betting favorite again, and their schedule helps them out given the people they play. It's a very manageable schedule, and I think a lot of people are expecting them to be in the playoff hunt once again by the time we get to November and December.
Now, manageable is an understatement. If Georgia's not in the SEC championship game, it would be a massive, massive upset. You mentioned Stetson Bennett's gone. I mean, that's where the conversation starts, right, with Georgia. It's who's going to replace a two-time national championship winning quarterback. So are they any closer to that decision coming out of spring?
I think it's still wide open, but I don't think it's a secret to say Carson Beck has the upper hand right now, and that's not really a change from the last year. He was the backup to Stetson. Came in as the favorite. He and Brock Vandagriff. Brock is really seen as the most likely option, if not for Carson. They kind of traded out, had different days where one guy looked good, the other had, mistakes, vice versa. And at G-Day to close out the spring, Carson Beck put on a show, looked really, really good, looked comfortable. The first-team offense really got the upper hand on the first-team defense. And you think about how successful Georgia's defenses have been year after year, really since Kirby Smart got here. It definitely got a lot of people excited. So I think Carson's the favorite right now, but Kirby did not name a starting quarterback. I didn't anticipate he would. This thing's going to go through fall camp, but I think as things stand, it would be Carson Beck, the rising junior, that would be getting the start if the season started tomorrow.
So Jordan, look, you mentioned that the defense has always been good as long as Kirby's been there. That's obvious. They've been phenomenal. The question kind of for years was about the offense. Well, then Todd Monken comes in, and we saw what happened these past couple of years. Well, now he's off to Baltimore, and they promote Mike Bobo to OC. How differently does the offense look? How much, or maybe another way of asking it is, how much of a concern is that there is an offensive regression with Monken off to the Ravens?
Yeah, that's the biggest question, and they weren't going to show us very much during spring, and, there wasn't anything elaborate that you saw at G-Day. And, I talked about this a lot once Monken left. I think very highly of Todd Monken, and I think he'll do a good job with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. But I think that there was going to be a regression no matter what because of what they were losing. Stetson Bennett, who had been around and had so many starts under his belt. You lose Darnell Washington, that was part of that two tight end tandem with Brock Bowers, who is back. So I think there was going to be a regression no matter what. The question is how significant of a regression. I'm not anticipating anything crazy. They've got a lot of talent. I think things may look a little different. They went really too tight end heavy last year just because they had Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington. Now they are absolutely loaded at receiver to the point that it's kind of hard to write out a depth chart because they've got a lot of talent and guys you assume will find a way to play. I think it'll look a little different. I think you'll see a lot more 3 receiver sets, maybe try to go 4 or 5 wide at times. I think you're going to see this team put up a lot of points once again. And it's going to quell a lot of the questions about Mike Bobo because there were definitely some people in the fan base who weren't exactly thrilled that he was coming back to his former post.
He's on Twitter at Jordan Davis Hill. Jordan Hill's with us, Dogs 247, wrapping up our SEC spring recaps, taking a look at the champs. You alluded to receiver there. It's like you're looking at my notes. Or either that or you've answered every question about Georgia spring so far these past couple of weeks. We know Brock Bowers is back, obviously. A big question with Georgia last year was the receiver position, right, getting production out of that spot. So without just reading off a litany of names, how did they put together this receiver room that we're confident is going to produce at a higher clip than a year ago?
They've got a good mix of guys coming back like Ladd and Arian Smith, who had that big touchdown in the Peach Bowl. And then they've got a pair of SEC transfers that are also going to be in the mix, guys that I think will play really, really big roles. And then they've got 3 freshmen that are coming in that were really highly touted. So they have a lot of options. And the good thing with this group, if you look at it, and you named everybody, you could talk about them, and you're not really going to repeat yourself. I mean, they've got a lot of different abilities. And that's what you need in a receiver room. You want guys that can make plays down the field. You want guys that are good in the slot. You need a good mix. They've got a good mix going into the season. Always, especially with any position, you just need to stay healthy. But they've got a lot of different options, and I think we will see a lot of different guys get in the mix over the course of the season.
Just a couple more. Number one of the big storylines last year was that Kirby didn't take anybody out of the portal, right? Did they tap more into the portal this year?
They did. They got 3 guys, and something that was kind of funny watching last season, Kirby Smart kind of pushed back on the narrative that they wouldn't use the portal. I mean, he basically said, there were guys that we had reached out to, and, things just didn't work out, and I think that he's always been very big about only going into the portal for the right guys and guys that made sense. Something that he's talked about multiple times is that you better be comfortable with who you're getting out of the portal. He's really stressed having prior relationships to when these guys were in high school. You get a good feel for what they're doing and sort of the kind of people they are. And, they got 3 guys that I think can contribute quite a bit. Ra Thomas from Mississippi State, Dominic Lovett from Missouri, both receivers, and then Smoke Bowie from Texas A&M. I think that definitely the receivers are going to play a big role. Smoke's still young, so he's kind of got to earn playing time. But they got some really talented guys. And I think you're going to see that going forward. They're going to be smart about going in the portal and getting guys they need rather than just big-time names that they want to throw on the roster.
Hey, Jordan, you mentioned the schedule, and look, there's a reason why every Vegas odds maker is going to have Georgia at probably 10.5, 11 wins as a over-under. If there is any tripwire on this schedule as you look ahead, understanding like a lot's going to change between now and the start of the season, certainly, and even then when you get into the season. But if there is any tripwire on the schedule, where is it?
I mean, to me, it's the game in Knoxville at Tennessee. I think Tennessee's got a chance to be really good once again. They got to get good production out of Joe Milton, him stepping up after Hendon Hooker moves on to the NFL. And the big question for me is that defense. Are they going to be able to make strides in that area? Because we know they can put up points. I think this is a really manageable schedule. The thing that's going to be very interesting as the season plays out, I really don't think that Georgia has a whole lot of room for error because you go 11-1. This isn't a schedule that's really going to wow people. I mean, they would definitely have to take care of business in the SEC title game. But they're going to be the favorite, I think, in all 12 games. That Tennessee game is going to be a challenge, but I think that this group is probably going to be up for it.
He is Jordan Hill on Twitter at Jordan Davis Hill Dogs 247. You want to read about the champs, you can do it there. We appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
That's our pleasure. That wraps up our SEC spring recaps. Stopped at all 13 member programs in the SEC. And next year at this time, we'll add 2 more with Texas and Oklahoma, odd as that may sound. So this will probably take us all the way through June doing the spring recaps. He's not wrong when you look at the schedule. And this is going to be the narrative around Georgia. UT Martin, Ball State, play South Carolina at home. UAB at home. So they don't leave Athens until the last playing date in September when they go to Auburn. This is maybe the earliest ever that they're playing Auburn, I believe. I would have to check that history, but there was some rotating of the schedule, and also they're playing Auburn now. I mean, this is September the 30th. They're going to go to Jordan Hare. I don't know that Hugh Freeze is going to have that thing churning at that point. We'll see. They're home against Kentucky. They're at Vanderbilt. They get their open date, neutral site game against Florida. Home against Missouri. Home against Ole Miss, who's their rotating cross-division. Ole Miss rotates on, and it's in Athens. Then they go to Knoxville. And then they're at Georgia Tech to wrap up the regular season. I mean, maybe Hugh Freeze pulls a rabbit out of his hat. Game's at Jordan Hare. Maybe Billy Napier in Florida. Year 2, big step forward, neutral site. Maybe. They got to go to Knoxville. I mean, there just ain't a lot there, y'all. I mean, they're going to be favored in every game. They'll probably be a double-digit favorite in every game this year. So if Georgia isn't in Atlanta, massive upset. Now, they got to win when they're there, right? And if they come up short Atlanta, that very likely could dash their playoff hopes. But if they're not in Atlanta at bare minimum, something went dreadfully wrong for Kirby this year in Athens. All right. Hope you enjoyed the SEC Spring Recaps. If you missed any of them, or maybe if you're not a Tiger fan, you want to hear about your team, you can go catch that on demand at 1045ESPN.com. Of course, AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. You can always book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org at any of their locations. 5 courses open, the 6th getting ready to reopen, and excited to tell you more about that. And remember, they always got tournaments and events, so if you're interested in playing in any of their tournaments or any of the events coming up, just go to golf.breck.org, hit the Tournament and Events tab right there at the top, and you can see what's coming up. They got the Women's Championship at Webb Park coming up June the 3rd. And actually, before then even, it'll be the Plainsman 4-Ball at Beaver Creek on May 20th and 21st. So that's next weekend if you're interested in playing in that one over at Beaver Creek. So get more info, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. All right, let me knock out our final break here of hour number 2. We'll come back. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. If you missed it, Michael Cobble did a long sit-down with Brian Kelly earlier in the show. We went through what Brian Kelly had to say about the quarterbacks, but he also talked about the opener against Forest State. He talked about the depth coming out of spring. We're going to get to that coming up in about 15 minutes to start hour number 3. And Alden Cartwright will be here as well. We'll talk a little LSU pitching as Tiger Baseball got back on track last night with a 14-4 win over Northwestern. A lot to do. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, gents, Mother's Day is on Sunday. If you need that gift for mom, get on by and see our friends at Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations over at Clegg's Nursery. They got full greenhouses if you want flowers. I've told you, our Mother's Day tradition is every Saturday before Mother's Day. We go to Clegg's. Erica gets to buy whatever she wants, and then I have to help her plant it all, and I can't complain. That's part of our deal. So if you want flowers, beautiful flowers for your flower beds or for your patio pots, Clegg's has got a great selection, man, of flowers that were all grown here in Louisiana, so they're acclimated to South Louisiana, so they're going to live and thrive longer. If you're not sure what to get or what to buy or what to plant, all their horticulturists there can help you. They got Johnny Naylor's seeds and so much other great gifts for mom. Bird feeders, outdoor decor, wind chimes. Not sure what to get? Get mom a gift card to Clegg's. Let her go pick it out. It's Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
$0 over MSRP at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. That's right, don't pay over MSRP. There's no markups, no games. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. A parent reporting a nightmare situation for his daughter at Estruma High School. A teacher under investigation accused of having sex with a student at school. The sheriff's office launching an investigation. Hear what the alleged victim's father has to say. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We are going to talk some LSU football again coming up right after the top of the hour. Alden Cartwright will be here. We will laugh at Musso again, as Musso now owes us 2 meals
Not
via
true.
our bet. Yes,
I owe
Muse.
Cartwright
Have
one meal.
you
I owe
looked
Cartwright
at
one
Twitter?
meal and you nothing. I don't care what Twitter
Oh,
said.
man, all the people last night on Twitter were like, sorry, you owe Scone double the meals.
I don't even know you won.
Double the meals.
Nope.
Yep. That's how it works, man. It's science. It's in the Geneva Convention.
Nope.
All right. Musso right now, while he thinks about all the meals he has to buy me and Cartwright, has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
We've got a lot of baseball to get to today.
Okay.
in Tigers in the pros. Good night for the former Tigers. We'll start it off with Aaron Nola. Nola towed the rubber last night for the Phils. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, just walked 2, struck out 6, got the dub, now above 500, 3-2 on the season with a 4.44 ERA. 86 pitches for Nola, 58 of them across the white, 4 strikes. Josh Smith last night for the Texas Rangers. Yeah, how about that? Nice night for Smitty. 2 for 3, a double, his first of the season. Was stranded both times he was on base, though. 182, playing left field last night. He had a throw in from the outfield that would have nailed a runner, but it hit the bat laying on the ground and kicked away. Odd play.
Son of a bugger.
Yep. Alex Bregman. No.
Well, he should have been.
Well, he went to high school in New Mexico, and he's Jewish.
So?
I mean,
you're saying Jewish kids can't go? There's plenty of Jewish kids that go to Catholic High.
I mean, they can.
There were Jewish kids in my class at Catholic High.
2 for 4 last night for Bregman, both of them singles, and both times he was stranded. The Astros did get the win this year. Last night, they still kind of stink so far, though. Let's see, where are we? Single A ball. AJ Labus for the Fort Myer Mighty Muscles.
Nope.
No. From
Well,
Florida.
you just got me started.
From Florida.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the shoot with a couple. I was like, yeah, a little more.
He blew the save last night. But then got the win anyway.
Okay.
That's what you love to see. 2 innings, 4 hits, gave up 4 runs. Only 2 of them earned. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 1. 1-0 on the year now is AJ Labus. The Iowa Cubs.
Always liked him.
Yeah, man. He was
strike thrower.
The changeup, beautiful. God, the changeup was fantastic.
Strike thrower.
Yes, that too. That's really what it's all about. That's what it comes down to. Jake Slaughter last night for the Iowa Cubs. No. Wichita Christian, actually.
No.
I believe for Jake Slaughter, if memory serves correct. 2 for 5 last night. Couple runs driven in as well. 310 on the year for Slaughter. Now up to 31 RBI. We talk a lot about Cam Sanders needing to call up to Chicago. Jake Slaughter, maybe too, man. Those are some salty numbers in AA baseball for our guy Slaughter. He was playing against his former teammate Michael Papierski. Pap 1 for 3 last night. Last night on the old Toledo Mud Hens.
Hey boy, Pap.
Hey boy, Pap.
Pap trains in the offseason at Traction Sports Performance. Got to hang out with Pap a lot this offseason.
For all the premier athletes train, I hear.
And you. And they, yes, all like you said, all of the premier athletes like me.
No.
And they're right now registering for summer baseball. If Pap was a young lad playing baseball in South Louisiana, he'd be playing in that Traction League.
He
believe that?
Would, absolutely.
He'd go to tractionsports.com to register. Or his mom would. Or his dad. Pap!
Great outing last night for Todd Peterson.
Ted Peterson.
2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, shutout ball, no walks, and 4 punchies.
How about it?
For our guy, Todd Peterson.
Ted Peterson.
You know where he learned all that, don't you?
At LSU?
At Traction Sports.
Oh, at Traction Sports.
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah.
I actually can't back that up.
I was about to say, I don't know. Is that true?
I can't back that up.
What is true is he did that against one of Matt's favorite teams, the Brooklyn Cyclones. And Paul Gervais got on the bump as well last night for the Brooklyn Cyclones. 2 1/3 for Gervais, 1 hit, shutout ball, 2 walks, 5 punch-outs. Still sporting that 0 ERA is Paul Gervais. I need to move on, but I kind of want to let it breathe a little bit.
Sometimes you wish that this desk wasn't here. And a lot of
Yeah.
you can move the camera. You got a joystick over there. You can move.
Oh, it's so good every time.
No, that was the ground. That was the ground. You can move the camera as long as you keep me in the shot.
Lastly,
why did you turn it off?
Well, we got to finish out, and we're not talking about the Brooklyn
You
Cyclones.
know where they play that song?
At Traction.
When I'm working out at Traction.
Yeah.
Tevin will put on like my playlist when I'm working out over there. Going in the morning, Muse.
We've got WNBA.
You know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, Muse?
What?
Curls, calf raises, and bench press.
All the Cyclone?
No, I was just joking. I tell Tevin that every time. I'm just get some shrugs. Little forearm curls.
Okay.
You know, like when you're 20 and you just do all your vanity muscles. You do calf raises and curls and forearm curls.
Preseason basketball in the WNBA. The Connecticut Sun today. Alexis Morris, 8 minutes. She scored 2 points. Grabbed 3 rebounds.
Glad she didn't get cut like LaDasia Williams.
Oh, wait. You must have not have heard.
Did they cut her?
They waived her right after that game.
Oh, come on.
Garbage.
What is wrong with
Garbage.
the WNBA?
That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill Mom, hour 3.
AFR.
As we put a button here on hour number 2, we'll remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. Like whenever I go to Germany for the Saints-Patriots game this year, and I get to drive on the Autobahn, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drive me a Volkswagen on the Autobahn. That's what I'm going to do. Or if you don't want to go to Germany and ride on the Autobahn, or you can't make that trip, just go to South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com. That's southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. Whatever vehicle you might be looking for. You want the compact SUV, if you want the full-size SUV, the Atlas, the Cross Sport as well. They've got so many different options. And remember, 9 different IIHS top safety picks. It's at South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. Shop online, work out financing online, then go test drive one at South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I'm Kevin Winter. Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Warriors, had already said this is not the last dance for Golden State should they not win the title. But what this could be is the first time ever under Kerr that the Warriors have been bounced out of the playoffs by a Western Conference opponent. 19 previous series versus the West, 19 wins. Tonight, the Warriors return home, trailing the Lakers 3-1 in the best-of-7 conference semifinal series. ESPN radio coverage starts 9:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Golden State, 7.5-point favorites. Speaking of being favorites, at Caesars, the Lakers have moved to co-favorites to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy, tied with Denver at plus 300. Think about this for the Lakers at Thanksgiving. They were 75-1 odds to win the championship. Heat try to take off the Knicks up 3-1, Game 5 tonight at Madison Square Garden. Afternoon baseball in the Bronx.
High fly ball. Deep center. Going back, Ruiz. Still back on the track at the wall. See ya! A grand slam for the kid! And the Yankees lead 11-2.
The kid being Anthony Volpe. Michael Kay with the call of the Yes Network. Yankees pound the A's 11-3 is your final first career grand slam for Volpe.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Alondra Villarreal. So. And Mr. Toby Tom. Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Oh, by the way, it's hump day. Hey. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Brian Kelly sat down with Cobble.
Hump day.
If we're being honest,
It's hump day.
Cobble butchered it.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Cobble.
Hump day.
Just saying it because I can, Cobble.
It's hump day.
LSU baseball got back on track.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Like Tommy Mansky, they went back to back homers.
Hump day.
That hadn't happened since
It's hump
2018
day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
against Ole Miss.
Hump day.
Josh Smith hit one of them,
It's hump day.
Calici, as did Cade Beloso,
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
who also hit one last night. How about that? How about that little tidbit?
Hump day.
You know who the third one was?
It's hump day.
I said it on the broadcast.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Oh, Antoine Duplantis.
That's the one.
It was like one of his 2 homers in his entire career. That was weird. He like
No, his last year he hit
I know,
like 12.
that was so weird. Like his first 2 years, I think he hit like 2
4,
homers.
I think, total, yeah.
Total. And then he went off in his 3rd year. Probably steroids. Not really.
It's
not
hump day.
really. Stop it. It's a joke, okay? Not really.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get going. It's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We are going to talk to Cartwright here in about 10 minutes now as Muso's his dinner, and we'll talk a little LSU pitching. Michael Cobble sat down with Brian Kelly. Cobble, of course, WBRZ, our great news partners, and, of course, you can find us on WBTR if you're watching the show. Cobble sat down with Brian Kelly, and they talked about a lot. And one of the things that I found very interesting was kind of how they wrapped up, which was about how they're going to open the season. And LSU opens the season, of course, against Florida State, the game that's going to be a top 10 matchup. Here's what Brian Kelly had to say about the impending opener.
I think we all know that Florida State's going to present a great challenge for us. We're going to present a great challenge for them. I think it's a great college football game to come out. But our season's not going to be defined on one win or one loss. We got a long way to go after that. But it's a great opener. It's great for college football. And it'll be a great test for us coming out of the gates. I don't think we win or lose our season in game 1, but it'll be a great way for us to really skyrocket if we come out of that with a great victory against probably it's going to be a top 10 team.
It is a great game. It is great for college football. It is going to be a great test for both teams. Where I will disagree with Brian Kelly is your season kind of does hang on that game. Because if you lose that game, you have no margin for error. You all know the fact. There has never been a 2-loss team that has made the college football playoff. So LSU flirted with it last year. Had LSU beaten Texas A&M, they would have gone to the SEC championship and played Georgia essentially for a right to win the SEC, beat Georgia, and be a 2-loss team that was going to make the playoff. They were primed for it. Now, they lost to A&M and they lost to Georgia, so it didn't matter. But you are not going to make the playoff as a 2-loss team. If this were 2024, I'd be far less concerned. LSU is going to open up in Las Vegas in 2024 against USC. And if you lose that game, all isn't lost. That's going to be a great game for college football. That's going to be a marquee atmosphere in Allegiant Stadium. It's going to be awesome. But you got a 12-team playoff. You lose that game, you can come back from it. You can go 10-2 and not win the West and make a 12-team playoff, which I'm very much for. Like your season shouldn't end week 1 because you decided to schedule a tough game. Essentially, that whole mindset disincentivizes scheduling good games. So the whole, every week's a playoff, it's stupid. No, it's not. It doesn't allow for teams to improve throughout the year, which look at LSU last year. How much better were they by the end of the season than they were week 1 against Florida State? So Point is, I kind of disagree with Brian Kelly. The big difference year to year is that last year, nobody went into that game. Nobody went into that game against Florida State thinking LSU is going to be playing in Atlanta for the SEC championship with a shot to go to the college football playoff. Everyone was thinking, man, back-to-back 500 seasons under Ed Ogeron, let's just see some progress. Can you get to 8-4 this year? Maybe you get to 9-3, would be an awesome season, whatever. Like that was where many were thinking, right? I mean, I told you I thought the ceiling was 9-3, which is ultimately what they hit in the regular season. But it's just very different because 9-3 this year would feel like a failure. Could we all agree on that? Like you're going into this season with a fifth-year quarterback, a ton back. You went to the SEC championship game a year ago, and now you're thinking, okay, build upon that. And 9-3 would feel like a failure. You lose out the chute, that has a drastically different effect if LSU were to lose to Florida State this year than it did a year ago, because we kind of all knew there was going to be a process of a rebuild, but you exceeded so many expectations a year ago, and the standard has been set even higher now that, you've got to go win that opener, because if you don't, you've left yourself no margin for error. You cannot lose again and get to the playoff. The biggest difference year to year, my opinion, is depth. That's the biggest difference. Look, last year, Mason Smith got hurt in that opener against Florida State. LSU rotated 3 defensive linemen. They just didn't have great depth. They certainly didn't have depth on the offensive line. They didn't have great depth at running back. There were spots where they did. They were certainly deep and talented at receiver. But that was a team, they did not have great depth at linebacker. That was a team that was good 1-22 and in spots had some depth, but by and large throughout their roster, they did not. That is a massive difference year to year. And Brian Kelly even talked about going through this spring with that many injuries. Like, that's going to be a net positive for this team.
You become a better football team, one that we didn't have last year, and that is depth. We had to play a lot of snaps with guys that we would have loved to have been able to get some time off, so we would have been better maybe in certain areas later in the year. So this will obviously provide us better depth and the kind of what we figure to be longer play out of our frontline guys in November.
I could not agree more. Obviously, you go into this season more settled on the offensive line. I'll remind you that Garrett Dellinger started the opener at center. The first offensive possession of the season, Jaden Daniels scrambled for 25 yards, threw a deep ball. Kayshon Boutte looked like he got interfered with in the end zone, couldn't come down with the ball. But Dick, you were right at the goal line, and you fumbled a snap. There was an errant shotgun snap, which killed and you missed a field goal or had it blocked. You killed your opening drive. Like, that was how you started the season. Well, that's settled now. You know who your first 5 are on the offensive line. You know who all your starters are going to be, and you have great depth at defensive tackle, at linebacker. Just a drastically different feel to start the season. And Brian Kelly even talked about going through spring and what it was like going through spring. Without all of the guys that we talked about, without a lot of your defensive tackles, without some of your cornerbacks, without Mason Taylor, you're going through spring knowing it's going to look different.
Well, I think you got to go in with the right mindset. First of all, those guys aren't part of it. You can't think about it. You just kind of move on with the guys that you have and developing the players that, in fact, that are out there. That's your job. That's what you're responsible for, is player development. So, we were able to get the guys that were out there the appropriate work necessary for them to get better. And I think we could say from the start of spring practice to the end of spring practice, those that were part of what we did certainly got better. Then you can start adding, all right, what happens when you get Mason Smith back? What happens, when you get Mekhi Wingo back? And that's, that's where you get excited, right?
It's the net benefit of spring. The net benefit of spring, starters do not need spring football. They don't. Mason Smith does not need spring. Mekhi Wingo does not need spring. Jaden Daniels doesn't need spring. The guys who needed spring, your newcomers, and guys who are going to be first-time starters or are competing for starting jobs. It gave them an opportunity to get their feet wet, to get sort of integrated within the team, within the starting culture, and then to have a shot to go win a job in fall camp. That's what spring. That is the benefit of spring football. And LSU this year is just light years ahead of where they were, and the cavalry's coming as well in the fall, which is exciting. You should be excited. We're at the beginning of May. We know that they're going to start workouts in about a month, beginning of June, and we're going to see this team start to get ready moving toward media days mid-July, and then reporting for fall camp and rolling there at the beginning of August and heading toward an opener on Labor Day weekend in Orlando. That's going to be the most ballyhooed opener in college football this season, a standalone game on Sunday night, primetime, ABC, with LSU, Florida State, Daniels and Travis, a top 10 matchup. And LSU is going to be center stage week 1 with a lot on the line. We're looking forward to it. All right, tap to further review. Quick break. We'll talk some LSU baseball. Alden Cartwright will be here with us when we return next on AFR.
AFR.
Hey, I want to remind you about ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Every day I remind you about all the commercial buildings or businesses and why it's beneficial to have a charger. But, of course, if you drive an EV, you need an electric vehicle charger for your home as well. ProCharge can install any type of charger, superchargers on down, at your home as well, at your residence. Learn more at ProChargeEV.com. Go to the website. There's a contact form right there. You can learn more about EV charging, about ProCharge, about NLX, which is the supplier, the #1 electric vehicle charger in the world. They're an Italian company, and ProCharge is their representative along the entire Gulf South, based right here in Baton Rouge. ProChargeEV.com. So no matter where you are in the state of Louisiana or the Gulf South, if you're interested in an EV charger for your home or your office building, go to ProChargeEV.com to get questions answered, to get pricing options, all that sort of stuff. It's there for you at ProChargeEV.com. Again, online, ProChargeEV.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs.
Cruiser Beats.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Well, another LSU run rule means another notch on the belt for your boy. Me and Alden Cartwright, we're going to be eating like kings on Muso's dime, not once but twice. How you like that, Muse? Cartwright.
Not true.
How are you, dude?
Good, brother. How are you? Muso.
I'm doing really good. What did he say?
He said better than Muso.
Oh, better than Muso. Yeah, Muso, man, I tell you what. I keep trying to tell him, Cartwright, you don't make bill your mouth write checks that your bank account can't cash. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, don't let your mouth write checks that your body can't cash. Is really the same, but in this instance, it's not really your body, Muse. It's just the fact that you're going to buy us 2 meals now.
No.
All right. Hey, Cartwright, we've been talking a lot, and of course, for those that don't know, Alden Cartwright pitched 3 years at LSU, made nearly 60 appearances, 10 starts over those 3 seasons. So you pitched in both starting roles and out of the bullpen in different roles. We've seen that from guys like Thatcher Herd and Blake Money, now Gavin Guidry, sort of vacillating a bit. How easy or difficult is it to take the ball in those different situations, be it bullpen, starting, knowing you're going to pitch, not going to pitch, et cetera?
I really didn't like starting roles because I didn't like the lead up to knowing I was going to pitch. I thought about it too much. But you could throw me in bases loaded, no outs in the ninth, and I have a better shot of getting out of that jam than not giving up 2 runs in the first inning. It's just kind of how it is, and it's a mind frame. It's rare. I mean, still was able to do it and, settled in. It was more my mental game to myself. So it's all how the guy is. Like Jared Poche, I'd probably tell you, he absolutely hates closing or coming in relief. That dude wants the ball first inning. It's just how people are built.
So when you look at a guy, let's say like Thatcher Herd, who has been used in every scenario imaginable this year, and Jay really seems to like him now at the end of a game. We've seen him do that the last 2 weekends. What do you see when you watch Thatcher Herd pitch in those different roles?
I see a guy that pitches with more confidence, more conviction, more intestinal fortitude, a little more wheelbarrow action late in games than when he starts. When he starts, he gets hit. It's either walks or he's getting hit. He doesn't have the same conviction, which is very hard for some people that don't see the game a lot or play it to really understand. It's hard to grasp that he is a different pitcher when he's, in the back end of a game instead of, having to start the first inning. Maybe he's just a guy, he just didn't have it between the ears yet. He's got to grow up a little bit. He's still young.
So then I would assume you like Herd at the end of a game. Then what do you do with Gavin Guidry, who had sort of settled into that, I guess we call it a closer role, who might now be moving up to the day 3 starter role?
The way I see this, and I may differ opinions than most people on this, we have to figure out the bullpen before we figure out anything else. Who cares about Sunday? I don't. I'd rather win Friday, take the chance on Saturday, and then whoever's left, whoever has the bet, who's the most fresh, most available, go to Sunday. That has worked well when you don't, because obviously we're not going to fix anything from day one. We have not had a third starter. From day one, we have not had a bullpen. We just haven't. We used 2 guys early on. Both got hurt. We didn't expand. And now we just don't have a bullpen at all. I mean, you're trying to shuffle guys through there, but I'm not telling anybody anything. I'm not saying anything anyone doesn't know. We don't have a bullpen. We don't have a third starter. We don't have a bullpen. I'd rather clean up the bullpen, so I'd rather use Gavin Guidry for the highest and best use. If that's getting outs on Friday night to get the first win and not lose that one, because the approach going into a weekend series is don't get swept. I know that's not what most LSU fans think, but that's what we're thinking going in the first weekend. Win game 1. Once you win game 1, you can look to game 2. Use what you have available to win that game. And then if you're fortunate enough to win those first 2 or you have a rubber match, you use what the best available is. And so that's where it's hard. Do I think Gavin Guidry's the third starter? I think Gavin Guidry's the third starter if he's the best available option on the game 3.
So Alden Cartwright is with us. So I want to challenge a little bit where you say LSU doesn't have a bullpen. Right? I'm not going to sit here and argue that by any stretch that what we've seen is great. But when I look at it, I say, okay, do I think Griffin Herring can get me outs. Gavin Guidry can get me outs. Thatcher Herd can get me outs. Like, if I seen Bryce Collins get me outs, Riley Cooper. I mean, there's all guys who've had struggles at times this year. There's enough arms there to get through a weekend, to get through a regional, potential super regional. We'll see if they get to Omaha and how, depending on how many games you have to play there, that's a different story. But they have guys that at times we've seen they're able to count on. No,
well, I agree.
Okay, so totally then elaborate a bit on they have no bullpen, because that's a binary statement.
That is. It's not fair.
As Terrio would say, that's digital.
Not fair. What I mean, they don't have when we start early on in the season, we did not have a group of guys that were like, all right, if our starter goes 6 innings each of these games, we don't have enough guys to cover the next, several innings for 3 games in a row. We've got to have a really good start out of Steen, really good. He's got to go, right? And then we got to get that win on Friday, and we got a good effort out of Floyd, which wasn't happening very consistently. We don't have the bullpen. Let's take out last year, the year before that. The consistent years of LSU where we had 11 guys that could go out there and pitch, right? You had probably 6 or 7 that you could really count on every weekend to go out there and get you an inning, get you 2, get you 3, what you needed. And then if you got into deeper scenarios, you had more guys on the bench that could go out there and get out. They weren't the best, but I just don't think this LSU pen has that luxury. I think they got what you just listed, 5 or 6 guys that can go get out. So that puts a lot of stress on starting pitchers.
Yeah. So then
you got to do good in your starting. You got to find. Boys got to figure it out.
So then
you're not worried about teams.
By that stretch, though, could I argue it's more important to find a number 3 starter?
If you win game 1 and game 2, it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, right? Win the series. Okay, let's put it this way. Do you think Gavin Guidry is going to get you 6 innings on Sunday?
I think he could. I think he's capable if they ramp him up to that point.
But we don't have ramp up point at this time.
He threw 66 pitches on Sunday. I mean, that theoretically 66 pitches could get you 4 to 5 innings, and could potentially get you beyond that.
Okay, let me ask you this then: Would you rather use Gavin Guidry in the 6th inning when we have the lead? Take that back. 5th inning. He has to go in the 5th inning. Ty Floyd got us through 4. Would you rather throw him in there, knowing he's successful and might be able to throw 60 pitches and get you to the 8th, and then come in with Herring and win game 2, or hold him for game 3?
Yeah, it just depends is LSU winning.
That's why I said, if he's the best available, winning, right?
I'm with you on that, but then what other options do you have? Look, listen, Alden, I think one of the most pivotal things we saw this past weekend, I don't know if you agree, but on Friday when Skeens was finished, the fact that they went Ackenhausen, Herd, instead of Herring, Guidry, told me that Jay and Wes are cooking up something, because that had seemed like that was established, right? Herring was going to be your first, and Guidry was closing.
Right.
And the fact that they did something else and it worked tells you, man, he's trying to see who he can count on.
I totally agree. Because a perfect world, you need 3 or 4 dudes that can start a game. Because when you get into the regional, SEC tournament, supers, heaven forbid you lose one of the first couple in Omaha, you got to have some guys that can start to go out there. So you have to develop a third arm that can get you 5 or 6 innings in a game 3 setting and even a game 4 setting. It's a conundrum. The Achilles heel of this team is the pitching staff.
Alden Cartwright is with us. Hey, I wanted to ask also, we've talked a little bit about Ty Floyd. Something we've seen the past couple of weeks is that Travinsky is catching Floyd on Saturdays. How much, and Jay, this may be a question directly for Jay, I'm just curious if you know, how much say-so does a pitcher have? Is it a situation where maybe that Floyd likes Travinsky or wants him to catch, or you think just they're trying to get a bat in the lineup on Saturdays? What do you make of that?
Personally, I can't speak to Jay. Haven't played for him. He is an offense-first guy. he's going to try and outswing you, is what it seems like, where Maneri was a defense-first guy.
Sure.
So you could see where you put Milazzo back there because he's not going to make mistakes with schemes. Zach Pierce and I were debating this a lot on either Saturday or Sunday. I don't want Travinsky in the lineup behind the plate. I just don't. He is a liability behind the plate. Dude misses fastballs down the middle. It is a guy like Floyd that can already fall off the rails from not, sometimes he got rattled. He said in an interview, it got to him and it shouldn't have.
Yeah, he did.
He's right. It shouldn't have. I would rather Milazzo behind the plate to not give anything else to Floyd to worry about. I think what's happening is LSU thinks they're going to have to outswing you. And if you're trying to deliver a knockout blow in the seventh, do you want Travinsky with a bat with the bases loaded or Milazzo?
Well, if that's the case, then I'm pinch hitting Travinsky if Milazzo
right?
starting.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, pinch hit him, right?
Oh, we saw it against Ole Miss, right? I mean, put him in there and give me the big swing.
Yeah. Let him have it, right? So I think that's what's happening. You have two ways to go about it. Defensive, like you want to just make you've seen Maneri put a guy that's hitting $120 in the outfield, right? But he's a damn good glove, Stevenson. And Stevenson's probably hitting higher than that.
He was right at about 190. So we've talked about it a bit over the years, Cartwright. So there are three really good examples of it. It was Stevenson in 2013 as a freshman. It was Nola at short in 2009. And then obviously Milazzo early in his career.
Yeah.
Your best defensive option who was hitting sub 200.
You just can't have guys. Our pitching staff is already trying to find its identity. You can't have a catcher trying to mess that up. Obviously Travinsky's not trying. None of these players. That's why I really lay into people on Twitter. These are 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that aren't trying to go out there and miss a fastball down the middle. It just happens. And you're like, how the hell does that happen? I don't know. It's baseball. Weird game. Can't explain it. It's juju. It's got all that weird stuff. But at the end of the day, you cannot have those mistakes. Pass balls. You've got to know when you have conviction in your breaking ball to throw it. You can't be worried about the catcher not blocking it. It's plain and simple.
Yeah. And I said catcher. Really, the other example of it was Papierski early in his career. Papierski was just a brick wall behind home plate, but didn't really swing until his last year. Yeah. So, but that was it. Maneri would sacrifice a bat in order to have an elite glove at a premium position.
Right.
Yeah, this may be a team where they got to go slug. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you're playing, teams play to their strengths. Even if my AD said this a lot, Alan does. Even if my strength is my breaking ball, and that hitter's strength is hitting breaking balls, which is usually not likely, you're not going to throw a fastball that's not your strength. You're going to play to your strength. The strength in this team is the offense.
Yeah.
They can be down 11 and come back. It's crazy. They can hit. And your strength is not on the mound outside of probably 6 arms. And so that's where I think Jay's playing his odds. His odds is I'm going to outswing you.
Makes sense. And Milazzo's hitting 360 though. So
right? That dude
his on base percentage is like 415 right now. So
and that's where you got to look at it too. That guy gets on base.
Yeah.
How about his approach and the growth? Someone's got to give that guy
Yeah,
big round of applause, man.
It's impressive. He's done an awesome job turning around offensively. He's giving himself a shot, to get into pro ball and make some noise. He is Alden Cartwright. When are we going to eat, man? When's Muse taking us to dinner?
I think next week's probably a good week.
Okay.
Because I travel a lot, and so the next weeks are coming. So maybe if we can look at something in the next week, that'd be good.
All right.
And maybe we can follow it up with a baseball game action. I can get the old LSU alumni so we can get in that suite action.
Wait, what?
Do you want to go to the suite, watch a game, get some food?
Oh, go this. Wait, so but if we're gonna go eat dinner, how are we gonna eat dinner and then go watch a game? And by the way, who do you have tickets? What suite do you have tickets in? Okay. Well, hey, look, no, I don't need the stutter. You don't need to put out the
No,
business, but if you can get us in there, let's roll. I'm in.
We'll go, right?
Okay.
LSU alumni is nice people. You know, we love our new president of the Alumni Association. Joe's a great guy.
Okay.
You know, we'll get it. They're good people.
We'll figure it out. I like it. All right.
We'll
So Muse is buying us dinner, and then we're going to sit in a suite at a baseball game. I like it. That sounds really good. Okay. All right. He is Alden Cartwright. Cartwright. We appreciate it, dude. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Be well. We'll see you. Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Hey, if you're still looking for a gift for mom, swing by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. 2 locations, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. Bluebonnet right near Perkins. As a matter of fact, if you're driving down Bluebonnet, so it's between Perkins and Highland, right near Perkins, actually. If you're driving down that stretch of Bluebonnet at night, you cannot miss it. Like the garden, these royal blue lights shining from the garden up the building illuminate. It's so gorgeous. I mean, it pops so much at night. You cannot miss it. It's the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Gift card for mom could be a great option. If you know what product or service she wants, you can get it at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Take care of mom this Mother's Day. They've got Mother's Day packages. Like if you look at their Instagram, I'm looking right here. They got a value. This is a $300 gift package. It's a platinum hydrofacial and 10 units of filler. You can check it out at theantiagingclinics.com or go see our friends at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. All right, good stuff from Cartwright there. We appreciate the time and the insight. We're going to continue to discuss this, obviously, as we move through the remainder of the season. But I think one thing's for certain that we can all agree on as of right now. LSU's offense, unmistakably, is awesome. They can literally hit anybody. It's not to say you hit every night. Some nights your offense goes cold. It happens. I mean, LSU only had 5 hits on Friday night. They won behind 3 runs on 5 hits. They won the game. They out-hit Auburn in game 2 and just couldn't come through with some clutch hits with the bases loaded, and they lost. But most nights this team is going to hit. How they manipulate their pitching will be interesting to see. But playing Mississippi State this weekend, y'all, there's no excuse. LSU should go bludgeon this team this weekend. They are better than Mississippi State, who is dreadful, and you should go win this series at home, if not sweep it. Okay, let me knock out a quick break. Come back. Oh, it's a hump day, which means it's Pluckers Trivia Day. So we'll peg Muse with some Pluckers trivia questions when we return here on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You can go to getgordon.com. Actually, by the way, it's 5:35 Central Time as we're doing this live. Go to gordongives.com. Today is the last day. Today is the last day. Wednesday, today is the last day to enter for the Gordon Gives shopping spree with Kim Mulkey. You can win a New Bern shopping spree with Kim Mulkey, gifted by Gordon McKernan. You'll go shopping at New Bern, the place where Kim Mulkey gets all of her flashy, loud outfits. That's where she gets them. And you can go on a shopping spree with Kim, sponsored by Gordon. Man, go enter right now. Go to gordongives.com, gordongives.com. It is today's the last day. Today's the last day. So make sure you get on by the website to register. You can do it right now at gordongives.com. That's gordongives.com. If you've been injured, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, let's go quickly so we can get to Otter Locks. It is a hump day, which means it's trivia night over at Pluckers. 2 locations, Bluebonnet and Nicholson. In Baton Rouge, 8 o'clock Bluebonnet. 7. Why did I just lose my brain?
Isn't it 7:30 at Bluebonnet and 8 o'clock at Nicholson?
That's exactly what it is. And I don't know why my brain just decided it didn't want to work anymore. It just turned off. My brain just went away. Okay, let's get back on track. You can turn Alondra on there.
I didn't see her out of my peripheral.
Oh, no,
Go
you're
ahead,
good.
Alondra.
I just said hump day vibes.
Hump day vibes.
7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson.
There
Pluckers
it is.
Trivia.
Test your knowledge, like we're about to do here with Muse. You ready, Muse?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Number 1.
No, of course not. What we got?
Are you a history buff?
I have a minor in history.
Now
I've been out of school for some time now, though. I want to throw that out there.
All right, Muse.
Been a minute.
In 1910.
This is not going to go well, but continue.
I mean, this is a U.S. history and a baseball question.
Okay.
In 1910, who became the first sitting U.S. president to throw out a Major League Baseball ceremonial first pitch on opening day?
Oh, man, 1910. God, see, I'm not good with presidential years.
I think I know.
Is it Wilson? Is it Woodrow Wilson?
It is not Woodrow Wilson. Alondra, was that your guess?
Oh, yes, because I just had it in this day in history the other day.
Well, you were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were wrong if you thought it was Woodrow Wilson. It was William Howard Taft is the answer. He's the fat guy that got stuck in the bathtub.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. 0 for 1, Muse. Disappointed. Thought you might nail that one. Here we go. Derived from the Greek word for fire, pyrexia is another term for what medical condition? Derived? Yes?
Wait, I mean, fire, pyro, pyrexia. Is it... Now, see, I have 2 guesses. That's
show
the
ends
problem.
at 6.
Yeah, I'm aware the show ends at 6. Is it a fear of fire? Or is it
no, it's
pyromaniacy?
not.
Is it another word for that?
No.
No?
It's a Def Leppard album.
A fear would be a phobia.
Yeah.
Right. And nowhere did I say phobia.
No.
I said it's derived from the word fire.
Right.
Pyrexia is another term for what medical condition. That would be fever. Fever is what we were looking for.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten that.
There was no phobia anywhere.
Oh, phobia is a medical condition.
Right, but
yeah.
nowhere in any of that did I say phobia.
No, but I mean.
Right.
Medical condition.
Okay,
Anyway,
you're
yeah.
0 for 2, Muse.
Wow.
Stay hot. Here we go.
Who is surprised?
A little bit I am. I thought you had a puncher's chance there on the first one.
Yeah.
And honestly, fever, you could have just, blind squirreled your way into that one.
Meh.
Okay, last one. Here we go, Muse. What bread's name? I stopped because I didn't want to read it as breads because you're not seeing the apostrophe. Okay?
Got you.
What bread's name? See, when I say it like that, doesn't it sound weird?
It does.
Okay, so that's why I stopped. We're talking about the name of a bread.
Yes.
What bread's name comes from the Italian word for slipper? What bread's name comes from the Italian word for slipper? Just think of an Italian bread, Muse.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I mean, focaccia bread's Italian.
You know what, Muse? That's not it.
Pistolette.
But you know what? No, stop. Now you're going the wrong. See, pistolette is not Italian.
I know.
That would be a French roll. Ciabatta was the. Were you going to?
That was on the tip of my tongue.
Well, you could have blurted it out. See, I don't believe you. I think you are trying to deceive me right now, Alondra.
You would know if I was trying to deceive.
And I believe you were trying to deceive me.
Okay.
Did you really think it was ciabatta?
That's like the only Italian bread that I know.
It's why you had a shot, Muse. It's why you had a shot. I mean, ciabatta is a very common bread, and it's an Italian bread.
Yeah.
But focaccia was not a bad guess.
I mean, focaccia's delicious.
So Muse, you went 0 for 3. You stink. Try again next time. We'll
we
next
will.
time. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. You can call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson, he's just the best. Jimmy Ott, by the way, who's coming up with a little Otter Locks. Jimmy had his lens replacement done over at the Williamson Eye Center with Dr. Blake Williamson. I used to laugh at the Otter all the time. We go to media days, whatever. Jimmy and I were out at dinner. He's at a restaurant. He's got the glasses on the end of his nose. He's holding the flashlight on his camera on the menu just so we could see. Just old guy stuff. Things like I would make fun of my dad for stuff like that. My dad, by the way, also had the lens replacement done at the Williamson Eye Center with Dr. Blake Williamson. Maybe it's LASIK, a young guy problem like me, or young lady problem. Williamson Eye Center can help you out. 924-2020. No matter your age or your refractive issue, if you want to see 2020 without contacts or glasses, the Williamson Eye Center can help. Call 924-2020. Set up that free consultation, or you can learn more at WilliamsonEye.com. Change your life. Dr. Blake Williamson can help you just like he did me. Go to WilliamsonEye.com. Okay. Been a good show. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. On the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, you can check out the AFR LSU and AFR Saints YouTube channels as well. Please subscribe up there. Get all the content you missed. And follow 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and all the social media channels. We appreciate you for being there. Okay, final break of the show. When we come back, we'll do some Otter Locks, see how the Otter did last night, and we'll look forward. Well, you know what? I know, Muse, I know he split the basketball games. Remember, he liked the home teams last night. And the home team split. And my app's not loading. I
don't even remember what else he gave out. He had some baseball play, didn't he?
But both were
he
against
had a first 5 with Otani, I think.
He did, but both of the basketball games, both lines he gave were against the spread. I'm not sure he hit, and this isn't loading. So let me go to break. We'll come back. We'll find out how the Otter did last night, and we'll see what he's got on deck first. Wait, here it is. No, it's loading. He hit with the White Sox, lost with the Angels first 5, hit with the Nuggets, lost with the Celtics. 2-2 night for the Otter. It's a tie. Like kissing your sister. No good. Let's see if we get a win tonight. Otter Locks is next.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Call our friends over at River City's 1 Hour Air. Let them come out to your house. Check on your home central AC. If you got an issue, if it's not keeping up, if it goes out, They'll always come out. They'll never charge you extra to do so. This 5-star review comes from Vincent Washington, who said, Mr. Kevin Webb, the technician, did a great job servicing my AC system. The young man was very polite, knowledgeable about the job, very hardworking. I so much appreciate his professionalism, attitude, concern for my AC system. He's a wonderful young man. Wish we had more respectful young men like this in society. How about that? That way, Vincent Washington, you tell him. That's where the respectful young men are. They're at River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side. 752-0001, 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks. Presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Outfather himself, Jimmy. Otter, how are you?
Doing good, man. Hit a little bit of a skid. I was so excited to go to Germany for Novemberfest, but I went to Schaubil's to look for a Volkswagen. I'm in the market for a new vehicle, and they looked at me like I had 7 eyeballs. I said I wanted to test drive one. So
That is it. For those that missed it, that is a reference to a bit we did last hour when Musso, when I asked about where, if I was going to Germany to watch the Saints play, I could go, what's the car dealership that I endorse? And then Musso goes, Shawbills?
Yes.
No!
Oh,
yeah. You never just had the wrong thing pop in your mind and say it. Yeah.
Germany, Autobahn. What are you doing, Muse?
Look, stay in your lane, Musso. Just tell me the old tiger from Kalamazoo that's hitting 218. Okay, look, we got.
Okay, go ahead.
Wednesday early has been more of a getaway day than Thursday. I have to plug my podcast, Sports Better Paradise, wherever you find it. Matt, today 4-0 with 3 dogs early on. The last pick I have in MLB is White Sox, Kansas City over 9.5. White Sox bullpen is 29th in the league in ERA, in MLB in ERA. The Kansas City is 27th. Let's look at the starters. White Sox starter has a 7 ERA. Keller for Kansas City leads the league in walks. Saw those walks work for LSU and Auburn, huh? Okay. Not only does he lead them, he is the only starting pitcher with at least 4 starts to walk more batters than strike them out. This has the mark of an over. I'm hot. Let's go. Put it all in. All in. Put it all in, Annie. Don't just let it in. Wow. So over White Sox there. All right. We're on the square side of the basketball game tonight. But I've seen the Lakers roster. I've seen them late in games. They're kind of huffing and puffing. It's a little bit of an older load management type of a roster. All right. Oh, when they took a 1-0 lead in Memphis, how'd they handle game 2? They got blown out without Ja Morant. How'd they handle going up 3-1 to Memphis? They got blown out. How'd they handle going up 1-0 in the next exhale spot to Golden State? They lost by 27. Exhale spot again tonight. You're paying a high price, but -8. It's up to 8 now. It was 6.5, 7, 7.5. 7.5 earlier when I gave it out on a podcast. I'm on Golden State in a big spot here. Taking the champ.
1 minute remaining.
The Lakers.
DraftKings is still 7.5, by the way.
There you go. Buy it to 7. Buy it to 7 and come down for a test drive at Shawbill.
Where are you tonight, Otter?
No seafood and steak. November Fest is when they run around. It's the electric dance music instead of, the traditional chicken dance type of stuff for Oktoberfest. And everybody's got glow signs. It's really a lot of fun stuff.
Thank you, Otter. Have a great show.
Goodbye, Matt.
All right. We love telling you about Michelle Weighing and Measurement. Michelle.com. Joel and the whole gang over at Michelle are amazing. ISO 17025 accreditation is available. If you're looking for a career instead of a job, you can go to Michelle.com, hit the careers tab, 30 different offices across 11 different states. Awesome people, a locally owned and operated business that continues to expand. It's Michelle Weighing and Measurement, Michelle.com. Muse Alondra, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy.